to investorschooling.com. I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
Feel the power of the Acura Integra. You control how you move with its integrated dynamic system. Take the wheel of the ADX with available premium Bang & Olufsen sound. Experience the power of the MDX together with space for 7 passengers. But why keep talking? Experience performance that speaks for itself. Acura.
Visit Piazza Acura of Ardmore, Reading, or Westchester for a test drive today.
Hurry into the Acura Summer of Performance event happening now.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. military continuing to carry out strikes against Iran and also enforcing the naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz for ships trying to reach or leave Iranian ports. ABC's Karen Travers says Iran also launching attacks throughout the region.
Jordan and Bahrain were facing incoming yesterday, and then today reports from Kuwait about Iranian strikes back at them. Yesterday, the United States hit military installations in the north, also fired on that oil tanker. The president has repeated that threat to go after civilian infrastructure in Iran.
Iranian authorities also released American Dina Karari. She's been detained in Iran since 2024. President Trump calling her release a goodwill gesture by Iran. As the war with Iran intensifies, President Trump will deliver a speech to Americans tonight. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says his remarks will focus on election integrity.
I think all Republicans and Democrats should recognize this should be a nonpartisan issue. If we don't have safe and secure elections in our country, we cannot have a country. It is a vital part of our democracy, of our constitutional republic. The president will be speaking about that tonight.
Outgoing Republican Senators Tom Tillis, John Cornyn, along with GOP Congressman Tom Massey, say looking back on the 2020 elections is not a productive message for Republicans in the midterms. Severe storms in Texas leading to mass evacuations and water rescues. The governor confirming one person has died. Those floods impacting communities in Hill Country devastated by last year's deadly flooding. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
During the flooding of July 4th, 2025, the town of Comfort was inundated when the Guadalupe River was driven out of its banks by heavy rain upstream. Now, after days of heavy storms, the Guadalupe River is raging again, and the National Weather Service is warning of what it calls a large and deadly flood wave roaring toward Kerrville and Comfort.
Extreme heat combined with drifting smoke from hundreds of Canada wildfires leading to bad air quality again for parts of the U.S. You're listening to ABC.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Ever wonder why you have insurance for your car or home, but not your digital life? Meet WebRoot Total Protection, your digital bodyguard that includes antivirus, identity protection, VPN, cloud backup, and more. With plans for individuals and families, WebRoot takes the guessing game out of cybersecurity so you can get back to living your best life online. Go to webroot.com/protect and get 60% off today. That's webroot.com/protect to get 60% off today. Live a better digital life with WebRoot because peace of mind shouldn't be optional.
In Florida, a low-flying Blue Angels jet this week, whizzing by beachgoers in Pensacola. That's home to the Blue Angels flight squad. The jet just feet off the ground, sending sand, hats, tents, and chairs flying with both cheers and disbelief. Ashley Korn has been coming to the event for a long time.
I've been coming for 10 years, and I've never seen a pass like that in my life.
The Blue Angels says officials are reviewing the incident. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, though, appearing to brush off the low-flying Blue Angel jet as nothing out of the ordinary. He reposting several images and videos, including a photo of the flight with the phrase, quote, "Carry on, Patriots." The Trump administration announcing its first new formal tariffs. They're the first since the Supreme Court struck down much of the administration's previous tariff policies earlier this year.
Brazil is being hit with new 25% tariffs, with Trump administration officials accusing the country of engaging in unfair trade practices. The new 25% tariff is lower than the 40% tariff announced last year, which was struck down by the Supreme Court in February. They also include carve-outs for beef, coffee, and orange juice, as well as some energy products and aerospace parts. The new tariffs take effect July 22nd. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
President Zelensky triggering a serious political crisis in Ukraine after he fired his popular defense minister, credited by many with Ukraine's recent turnaround on the battlefield that's led to thousands turning out to protest. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as big wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Weather is sponsored by Ashley Furniture.
Overnight low, 73. Hot tomorrow, not quite as humid, but it is still going to be hazy and the smoke still hanging around. High 92. Saturday, cloudy and not as warm. We can expect some showers and a thunderstorm. High 81.
Ashley's Black Friday and July sale is here with the biggest savings of the summer. Save up to 20%. Ashley pays your sales tax and we'll deliver it all free. Get it all with Ashley's no-interest financing. The Black Friday and July sale, only at Ashley.
I am a mother.
I am an entrepreneur.
I am a singer.
I am an artist. I'm a journalist.
A businesswoman.
An educator.
A sister.
A grandmother.
An advocate.
A leader.
I am a friend.
I am
one of more than a million people living with HIV in the U.S.
We are not alone.
Let's stop HIV together.
Get the facts, get tested, get involved. Go to www.actagainstaids.org for more information.
As a doctor, I see patients every day who are losing their vision to age-related macular degeneration, also known as AMD. If you have blurry vision or blind spots, they can be symptoms of AMD, and if untreated, could lead to blindness. The good news, AMD can be managed with effective clinically approved treatments that may reverse some vision loss. For free AMD information, contact the Foundation Fighting Blindness at 1-800-BLINDNESS. That's 1-800-BLINDNESS. There is a cure in...
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
Wow.
When you want the best that there is, when you want the best in the entire biz,
oh, biz?
There's a name the stations call you sure to like. It's America's host, and his name is Mike.
Stunt brain, that is.
You've heard him before, and you'll hear him again. Everyone loves him when he hosts on 1210.
How you doing? My goodness, it's been a while. I'm looking at my watch, and my watch says it's July 16th. Wow, I have missed you, Philadelphia. I mean, I haven't missed each and every one of you because there's a few of you that I appreciate the break from. But most of you, let's just put it this way. The overwhelming majority of you, I have missed you like a front tooth. And I'm very happy to be back sitting here hosting from a kind of makeshift studio in North Wilmington, Delaware. I am in the basement, which we call the Freedom Bunker in North Wilmington, Delaware. And yes, that is if you're watching on the YouTube channel, thank you, number one, like and subscribe. But it's kind of a digitally created background. I was talking with Matt and Justin as we were getting ready to come on the air, and I don't have a brick wall in the basement, and I don't have a flag on the wall in the basement. If you were to really see what's going on behind me, this would look like a hostage video. Is that a safe assessment, Matthew?
You texted me. Yeah, it looked like a hostage video. I got to tell you, I don't disagree. I kind of did.
Yeah, without the flag is an AI creation, and I was rushing to get a background in here. And I think the AI thing, they forgot a few stars. Unless this is like something out of like 1917 or something where we didn't have all the states yet. Looks like a few of them may have fallen off in the digital transfer. Anyway, I am thrilled to be here on this momentous occasion. The President of the United States is going to be addressing the nation tonight. I heard Dom talking about it, and there's been a few hints as to what is going to be addressed by the president tonight, which is kind of, I guess you're supposed to let some of the preview known. Usually, when I was working at places like theblaze.com, we would get the embargoed version of the speech that would be sent to us about an hour before the president or whomever was supposed to be speaking was taking to the microphone. And then everybody would kind of have their responses ready or sketched out. In the case of Donald Trump, he's always been a game changer. When Donald Trump's administrations would send out speeches, you would generally be about 50% on target with what was on the paper that you were sent in the embargoed version. And then when the president spoke, he would kind of do the weave, as it were. He'd bounce in and out of topics as his brain saw fit, and he would go off on tangents. And then he'd bring them all back together to the main subject. Not the case with many other presidents we've covered, but President Trump is a unique game changer of a chief administrator, if you will. And the guy is going to speak tonight. We all know it's about election integrity. And the left is already starting to say, oh, we don't want to talk about this. You shouldn't watch. Well, when the left starts telling you not to watch, what does that tell you? It tells you should watch. Are you going to watch? I am going to watch. Not only because I'm going to be here tomorrow and God willing next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well to hang out with you, but I'm going to watch because I want to hear what the president has to say. And also want to hear what he is going to say from the perspective of the people he has gathered with him. You know, he's bringing kind of the posse that's surrounding election integrity. When you think about Kash Patel and when you think about Todd Blanche, you think, oh, there's going to be some legal end of all of this. Well, if he is exposing election fraud or attempts at election fraud, I do hope there are some perp walks attached to that. We will see. But as I said, the left is already telling you not to watch it. If we can cue up cut 4 on the sheet from the prep today, anytime AOC is warning you about what the president's going to say, you have to wonder what her motivation is. If you got it, let it roll.
Congressman, Donald Trump is scheduled to give a big rant to spew election conspiracy theories on Thursday. Do you think that TV networks should run it? Do they have an ethical obligation?
A big ad?
Rant, like a speech. He's basically doing made-for-TV broadcasts about election fraud and conspiracy theories and all the rest on Thursday.
I don't think that we should be contributing to any platforming of lies about our election. And so I think that, many news outlets oftentimes may receive transcripts. And I think that we have an ethical obligation to not air things that undermine our election, that are not rooted in evidence and fact. And so, of course it depends on the contents of his speech, but that's my take on it.
What do you make of DHS?
It's so frustrating because we all know she's going to be one of the leading contenders in 2028, and there are a whole bunch of people who would vote for Alexandria Occasionally Coherent just because she's a Democrat and a female, just because of her genitalia and because of her party affiliation. And she doesn't want you to even listen to the president, really. She's already trashing it. But she's not the only one. Brian Stelter, who my friend Chris calls Brian Stelter water, which I find kind of funny, the big potato, who was booted from CNN and then somehow has found his way back on CNN, was also talking about Trump's speech tonight. And I found this to be particularly irritating and interesting, the way that Stelter is framing this speech.
Yeah, people are talking about this speech tonight like we talk about the explosive diarrhea cases all across the country. That it's gross, that it's ugly, that it's bad, that it shouldn't be going on, that it should be stopped. But the speech is going forward. So the major networks in this country have a really tough decision to make tonight about how to cover the speech, whether to show it live, whether to interrupt if the lies become so serious. I think we should start from the premise that most Americans disapprove of Trump and don't believe his election lies.
So imagine opening up your preview of the President of the United States address to the nation tonight by saying, people are talking about this the way we talk about the explosive diarrhea cases that are spreading across the country. What have you done? What is the mainstream media doing? They are associating the message the president is going to be giving out tonight with explosive diarrhea. Which, by the way, if you've ever been called for jury duty, DeSantis, have you ever been called for jury duty?
I have. It was unpleasant.
And you got picked?
I was selected, unfortunately.
See, all you need to know is the two words. When you go to check in, you kind of walk up and you shuffle up to the desk where they ask you to check in, and you say, "Excuse me, I'm having a problem with explosive diarrhea." And I guarantee you will get a pass. They will go like, "Okay, sir, take this paper. We'll excuse you. We'll contact you when there's another opportunity for you to serve." So I'm just saying, that's a little sidebar tip from me. If you ever are called again.
It's a very good point. No one's going to ask a follow-up question to that.
No,
They're just going to let you go.
There are zero follow-up questions. But meanwhile, over at CNN, Brian Stelter leads with trying to tell the audience that the association of the president and the message that he's going to deliver tonight doesn't matter how many factual references he brings to the table. It doesn't matter how much evidence Kash Patel and or Todd Blanche and or any of the other crew that are with the president, I suspect the vice president will be there, that they bring to the presentation tonight does not matter. CNN is telling their audience already that you should be thinking about this like a case of explosive diarrhea, which nobody wants unless you might have jury duty or jury duty summons. But I find that to be particularly distasteful, not just the explosive diarrhea, but the affiliation that CNN is attempting to do with our president. And it's okay to disagree with them, but to call yourself a news outlet and then to have your media guy, which Stelter's still that. I mean, they fired him when he was the media guy, the guy who told us everything about the media. And then they hired him back, but I'm not sure in what capacity, because it still amuses me that he was fired and then came back. But I find this absolutely distasteful, and what the Democrats and their hench people in the form of CNN and MSNBC, or I'm sorry, I forgot. I haven't been on the radio in a while. MS-13 Now, that's their new name, right? MS-13 Now, yeah, that's it. Meanwhile, Caroline Leavitt, who is back in the White House after having a baby, which did she take the full maternity leave time off? DeSantis, do you know?
She's been gone for a while. I can't remember the last time she did one of these. I would imagine it was the full leave.
Can you check and see who took more time for maternity or paternity leave? Was it Caroline Leavitt or was it Mayor Pete? Because remember, he took time off when he and Chasten, his partner, adopted twins. I remember that, and he took time off because people were like, "Hey, we have this crisis in the supply chain. Where's the transportation secretary? Oh, he's on paternity leave because they adopted twins, and he wasn't available." So I'm just wondering who took more time. Maybe Grok or Claude or Chat GPT will tell us, but I would like to know because I think Caroline Leavitt, if she had been given the option, she would have delivered the baby in the Situation Room and done a press briefing the next day. I really think she would.
I have an answer for you.
Okay.
So it looks like Caroline has been out for about 11 weeks.
Okay.
Pete Buttigieg was gone for about 8 weeks. But I do think it's worth noting that nobody realized Pete was gone towards the end, which begs the question, what the heck was he really even doing?
Well, I think it's interesting. Pete took 8 weeks of paternity leave, and neither Pete nor Chasten are capable of being pregnant, unless, of course, you're a Democrat. Then you think that's a possibility. But they adopted kids, which I salute them for adopting children. I think that's a beautiful thing. But just Caroline Leavitt. So she took as much of the maternity leave as possible. She's back at the White House now, a mother of 2, and doing her job. But earlier today, Caroline Leavitt was giving us a little rundown on what to expect tonight. Let's roll cut number 1 if we can.
I would encourage everyone to tune in tonight. I've seen a lot of reporting and frankly misreporting about what the president will say. I think the American people will be relieved to hear what they are hearing from the president of the United States and his commitment to transparency and the focus on the integrity of our elections tonight. I think all Republicans and Democrats should recognize this should be a nonpartisan issue. If we don't have safe and secure elections in our country, we cannot have a country. It is a vital part of our democracy, of our constitutional republic. The president will be speaking about that tonight. And in addition, at the very same time, of course, he is working on all of these economic issues that the American people have at home. I just read to you the latest inflation numbers are looking good, the best report in 6 years. The president, Republicans and Democrats and all Americans have this president to thank for the largest tax cuts in American history, which every Democrat on Capitol Hill voted against. You have this president to thank for the Trump accounts for our children and securing the future of the American dream. So this president is doing a lot, but obviously safe and secure elections are a true tenet of our constitutional republic, and the president will be speaking about that tonight.
And I miss Caroline Leavitt being at that podium as often as she is, and I cannot wait. She also talked about some of the effect that's going to come out of this presentation tonight. I'm sure she's got the speech already in her hands and has watched as the administration trying to make a prima facie case that what I believe is going to be an indictment of the 2020 election, specifically the state of Georgia. But let's check out what Caroline Leavitt said about what the president is going to bring to the presentation.
Well, first of all, Garrett, I think part of the problem is that the media has refused to acknowledge that tens of millions of Americans across the country share the concerns of this president about the sanctity of our elections. And your premise of your question, you're jumping ahead to a conclusion in this speech before even hearing it yourself. I think that everyone should tune in tonight, including the people in this room, and you should report on the president's speech and the findings that he is going to reveal in this speech with a little bit of honesty and a little bit of integrity, because it will shock you if you have an honest eye listening to the president tonight, and everything he is saying will be backed by facts and by evidence that will be provided this evening. And again, Garrett, I think all Americans, Democrat, Republican, should agree that we are the greatest country in the history of the world. We should have the safest and most secure
I agree already.
in the history of the world. And what the president will be speaking about tonight will show you that perhaps that is not the case, and we need to make some adjustments moving forward, including the Save America Act, as Rachel pointed out, is a key legislative priority for this president on Capitol Hill, and he wants to see all senators and members of Congress voting in favor of the Save America Act because it's crucially important as we move forward.
Now, I have a bone to pick with Caroline Leavitt. I think she's a great press secretary. I've met her personally, interviewed her a few times. DeSantis, you were there when Rich interviewed her, and she was a regular feature, I think, on the station in the early days of this administration. But sometimes the grammar gets me. Sometimes there's some it's almost Nick Cale-like grammar, if I may point that out. Is that wrong for me to say that?
I love Caroline Leavitt. You'll get nothing out of me.
Damn it. I thought I could squeeze you a little bit. You're on to me. Yeah, I'm looking very forward to this speech tonight if you guys have any thoughts about what's coming out. But again, all of these hearings that we've seen yesterday, the big hearing about with Nick Shirley and who's that goofball that initially came out and exposed some of the Democrat tomfoolery years ago. It was about in 2012. The guy who dressed as a pimp and went into Acorn. You know, I'm talking about James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe, who's now O'Keefe Media. All the guys that have been working to put forward evidence, video evidence of all the scams, and then they're called into hearings and they say, hey, we exposed all this stuff. No one ever gets arrested. And the money seems to continue flowing. And Nick Shirley found the fraud in Minnesota. He found the fraud in California, the hospice fraud in California. And then this week he's been showing us all of the massive fraud that's going on in New York, in Brooklyn, I believe it is, where there are an entire block lined up with pharmacies. Yes, pharmacies, one after another. And across the street are these daycare centers, using air quotes with my fingers. But we're not seeing people either arrested or thrown out of the country and the money clawed back. It is in the billions and billions of dollars. So until we see some sort of real results to it, I'm just going to keep watching and keep getting angrier. But I think when the president addresses the country and has the goods, I'm hoping that the Attorney General, that the FBI will work together and we will see something out of it. We'll see that tonight. A whole bunch of stuff coming up. All right, take a little break here. Also on the show today, correct me if I'm wrong, DeSantis, you managed to reel in one of the big fish today. We have Dr. Victoria Coates joining us at 5 o'clock.
That is correct.
My God, I appreciate how hard you worked on that. Thank you. That's excellent. And Sarah Parshall-Perry coming in again today.
Yep, 4:30 she'll be here.
This is good. So the second half of the show is absolutely loaded, which means not that I'm limping along, but I have a bunch of things I need to get to today. I want to talk about what's going on outside. Has anyone been outside and seen the lovely Canadian brown air they have sent us? I think this is amazing. And I'm wondering, is any of it tied? I know they're talking about Canadian wildfires, right? All the stuff you experienced in your 3-walk block from the parking lot to the building today, Matthew. The crazy haze that's in the air. We're saying it's Canada, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Canadian wildfires. I didn't realize how bad it was here until I stepped outside today. When I was cycling through the news, prepping for this show, I saw it was especially bad in New York City, and I saw a few photos, and I was like, ugh, yuck. Glad I'm not there breathing that nonsense in. I step outside, and it's pretty yellow and gross.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a haze. But I'm wondering, is it fair to blame Canada, or should we blame George Clooney and his wife Amal?
Why would we blame them? I'm not opposed to blaming them. I'm not a George Clooney fan, but I'm curious as to what your reasoning is.
I want you to do a little homework during the break here and tell me if you agree with me.
Okay.
And anyone else has goods on it. I'm seeing a a whole bunch of familiar faces in the YouTube chat room. So join us in the chat room or join us on the phone, 855-839-1210, if you know what I'm talking about with the Clooney's thing. We'll get into what's going on with the weather here. Yeah, it is summer and heat wave, but maybe Canada should pay for this. And maybe the Clooney should pay for this if they haven't already paid for it. 855-839-1210. It's Mike Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey there, it's Jill Schlesinger. I'm launching a new show. It's called Money Moves, and your money is going to move. We're going to help you make better financial decisions. We're going to call out the BS you're finding all over social media. We're going to give you actionable guidance to make your financial life clearer, less stressful. We're going to answer your financial questions and take the mystery out of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Moves with Jill Schlesinger wherever you get your podcasts.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Lenseek.
Tesla appears to be emerging from its year-long sales slump as it reported more than 480,000 deliveries in the second quarter. That was a gain of 25% compared to a year earlier and crushed market estimates by about 75,000. The Model 3 and Model Y made up the bulk of the deliveries for Tesla, with all other models, including the Cybertruck, accounting for just over 12,000 deliveries. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Blank, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Just sprinkle it on top of whatever you're already feeding them. It's packed with live probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals, all natural and made in the USA. Thousands of dog owners are watching their pets transform. More energy, shinier coat, better mobility, and your dog could be next. Take the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. Give us 90 days and we'll give you a healthier dog, guaranteed. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code USA. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code USA. Rough Greens. So good, your dog will ask for it by name.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at progressive.com.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day. Football I want to be a bike that races around the country. I want to be a bench on a forest trail. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It's a brown haze in the air. It's a brown haze. I'm sorry to all the people on the YouTube channel who can't hear Purple Haze playing on the radio. It's Mike Opelka with you on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Hello, how are you? I have missed you. I am happy to be back, thrilled to be back. And in all honesty, last night, I was having trouble sleeping because I knew I was getting back to work with DeSantis and with of course, the great Justin. And I thought, I'm going to be back with my boys. It's great. And you guys have been sharing the reflections on Philadelphia's air with this lovely Canadian tint to it. Shall we call this Canadian orange or Canadian, what color is it? It's burnt sienna. Is that correct color?
That's very official. That's like from a box of crayons. I'm impressed.
Well, I think there actually was an automotive car at one point called Burnt Sienna. I think Cadillac had a color, and God knows who bought a car that was orange with a burnt tint to it. But during the commercial break, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, and why aren't you? It's a great point. The view of the 30th Street station from the top of our building, it's not the lens that's dirty. That's in the air, right?
I don't believe it's our lens, and based off the scent when you're outside, I'm going to venture to guess that's Canadian wildfire aftermath.
Yeah, that's some good Canadian fir tree burning up there. Yeah, did you find DeSantis my veiled reference to the Clooney family?
I didn't. I failed my homework assignment, so you're going to have to explain it to me, teacher.
You really don't? Okay.
No, I don't know.
Our friend Lauren Fix, the car coach, who happens to be out in California, doing something with the Kia people, which he's going to enlighten us on tomorrow. Lauren Fix sent this to me just before we came on the air, and it says George Clooney's $14 million house in the Finger Lakes region burned down, burned to the ground. The Lake Barron Fire Department responded to the blaze in the middle of the night to find the home empty and completely engulfed in flames. Now, Clooney's got some money because he sold that, tequila company? They made a couple $100 million on their tequila venture years ago, so there won't be any telethons for George Clooney and his wife, Amal. But the Clooney's $14 million house in the Finger Lakes. Now, if you're in the Finger Lakes and you spent $14 million on your place, you probably have the nicest house in the Finger Lakes, unless it's burned to the ground. But it was empty, completely engulfed in flames. So was this Canadian wildfires? Because I haven't heard any upstate New York wildfires. Correct me if I'm wrong. You haven't heard that, have you, DeSantis?
No, I haven't heard anything.
Me either. Apparently, the Clooneys have an electric vehicle that is usually stored in the garage of this giant $14 billion mansion, and the thing burst into flames and took the house with it. And from the report that's posted online, this is not fully vetted yet, but the report claims the Clooneys never updated their homeowners policy to include an electric vehicle, so it's a total loss. Ouch. Yeah, if you own an electric car and you do not add it to your homeowner's insurance, you're setting yourself up for a problem, because there are problems with electric vehicles. As a recovering electric vehicle owner, I did drive one every day for 3.5 years. We'll never do it again unless for some reason they fix all the problems with them and the risks with them. You have to add additional insurance to your property because of the propensity for electric vehicles to, I don't know, spontaneously combust and burn down your $14 million mansion. But for the Clooneys, it's probably like the change in their couch cushions. So I'm not worried too much about it.
I think I have some breaking news. If the story is accurate, George Clooney will not be impoverished. His net worth is apparently $500 million. So I think he'll be okay, but maybe we should start a GoFundMe.
Well, go something me. I don't think it's fund. The first two letters of that word are correct, though. So I would keep up with that. Let's work through that during the commercial break. Yeah, go F-U-N-D me. Yes, George Clooney. A $14 million loss that they're going to say, we'll just rebuild. But that's an unforced error, as they say in tennis. That is a mistake you made on your own. That you made a complete screw up of that. Wow. I've said the phones are open today. You want to talk about the weather. You want to talk about the president tonight. I want to talk about the Canadians who I hope the president mentions the wildfires, and maybe Canada should be giving us a little something for dealing with the ash that they're sending us from their wildfires. That would be my take on it. I would love that to happen. You're welcome, 855-839-1210. Let's grab a phone call here. Mark's in the Northeast. Hello, Mark. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. Thanks for taking my call. I did have a question. Probably Scott Besson's the one that should be best able to answer that question. What's the tariff rate on the ash and the soot that's being imported?
Well, that depends.
Canada?
That depends. Does this qualify as fertilizer? Because, the agricultural tariff is probably different than some sort of waste disposal tariff. You got to look at things in two ways. If it's waste disposal, then it's a very different issue, because then we have to find a permanent home for it. If it's some sort of fertilizer, we could take that and repackage it and sell it to our agriculture partners. Yeah, that would be
sell it back to them.
Wouldn't that be the perfect thing to do? And wouldn't that drive the left crazy if Donald Trump found a way to capture all of the soot and crap that the Canadian wildfires are blasting into America, and then we sell it back to them as nitrogen-rich fertilizer? God forgive me, but that's a very good guess.
My serious question, though, is this has been going on like for the last 2-3 years. That can't they get to it? Don't they do some forest management, or are they just worse than California, I guess, where you get the wrong lightning strike in the wrong spot and everything goes up in flames?
Wildfires are a very difficult thing. I've lived through them when we were out in the Hamptons 25 years ago. My wife and I would spend a lot of time out there. And Long Island has pine barrens the same way that New Jersey has pine barrens. And if you get a dry spate like we've had, and then lightning strikes, and there's almost nothing you can do, even good forest management, you will have wildfires. But here's the thing, the wildfires do something really interesting. When the heat sweeps through, especially the pine barrens, they force the pine cones to explode and their seeds go spreading out. So it's kind of a reforestation that happens naturally once a fire sweeps through an area. So you will see a growth. It may look like Chernobyl when you see some of these areas where the wildfires have gone through, but there will be growth that returns almost immediately over the next couple of years, and you'll see a huge Mother Nature-induced reforestation. So this has happened in the past, but it is one of those things, Mark, that you just sit there and go, okay, Canada, you've been pretty tough on us. I know Carney, Prime Minister Carney, said some nice things about President Trump at the recent NATO meeting. Kind of said that Trump is doing it. I did a double take on my TV. I was like, wait a minute, did he say something? Oh my God, something nice about the president was right. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, the president may find a way to tax the smog, the soot coming in. Here's the other side of this, and thank you, Mark. Appreciate you being there. DeSantis, you may need to do a little quick check on this. 2 weeks ago, there were wildfires sweeping through Colorado, and I have not seen a peep go through the news on the wildfires in Colorado. I know about them because a friend of mine had their home burned to the ground. They had 80 acres, and they got like a 6-hour warning to get the heck out, and they left. They got their horses out. They got pretty much the vehicles out, but they lost everything they've had in this home for 30 years, burned right to the ground from wildfires. 850 plus buildings, homes burned in Colorado, but it doesn't seem to be anywhere because it's so remote that, it's not hitting major markets like New York and Philadelphia with the soot. So it's kind of one of those things. I don't know if those fires are even out.
They're still ongoing. I think they've burned almost 200,000 acres statewide.
And we've seen nothing on the national news. But since New York and Philly are affected, the mainstream media will cover this. Never mind the people of Colorado. And maybe people thought they were all smoking dope out there. It's just a cloud of marijuana. No, it's a wildfire. It's a big wildfire. Is this another Mark on the phones in Philly? If it is, let's go. Let's grab him. Hello, Mark.
Yo, thank God you're back. Oh my God, like the past seems like eternity. Like it was like a toss up between listening to this or listening to 610, the black radio station. Like it was like dreadful. I know it's a political station, but oh my God, it was like sometimes you just felt like driving off the road. I'm just glad you're back.
Come up
Thank
here.
you.
I want you to get close to your radio right now, because I'm just going to give you some sugar. I'm going to give you a little hug here,
Dude,
Mark.
I'll give you sugar. Like I need you back, and I need what you call it? What you call it? Okay.
I'll never forget what's his name. Will you? Me either. No, you're very kind to say those things.
Florida.
Oh,
down in Florida. Is he okay? I haven't heard from him in a while. Like. Not on the radio or anything.
A man to reckon with, right? That's the name. No, anyway.
No, him and his wife.
Oh, Bruno. I think you're gonna hear from Tony Bruno soon. I think so. I don't know. I'm not the.
Comes on during the week in the morning.
I'm not the Bruno spokesperson, but I think you will hear from him. But thank you. That's very kind of you. Tom Hazelby's Floridian and in New Jersey as well. I have so much more to talk about with the condition of our air. It's not air conditioning, but we better check in with the great Earl from Tacony, who's joining us. Hello, Earl. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Michael. Have you ever heard of the South Park movie Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, where South Park goes to war with Canada?
I have, but do you have a metronome that's going in the background here? Your phone was a little funky there.
Might be the ceiling fan. It is hot. Let me turn that off. When they had the fires last time around 2020, 2021, so the song may be a little dated when Justin Trudeau was Prime Minister, and they were doing all the COVID restrictions for the Canadian truckers, or as they refer to themselves, the truckers, and they were setting fire to the tires in order to protest. So I have a song called Blame Canada if you're interested.
Well, wasn't the song called Blame Canada?
Yes, but I rewrote the words.
Oh, so you've done a parody to the Blame Canada song. I'm interested in it, but I will tell you it will drive me crazy if we play it with that clicking going on in the background.
Let's go to break real quick, and we'll come back with Earl, and hopefully he'll have a better connection, and that way we can hear the song, and it'll be crystal clear.
Earl, do not move. I want you to stay right there. I want you to stay right where you are. We're going to get to that. Earl has a new song. I want to hear this because it's Blame Canada was a great song anyway by the South Park guys when they came out with it. I think it might have even been nominated for an Academy Award, if memory serves me correct. So we'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll hear Earl from Tycone's a song, and then we also have to talk about, we got to talk more about some of the other local scandals here. But today is also World Snake Day. DeSantis, you don't have a pet snake, do you?
I don't think snakes make for very good pets. I feel like there's a joke about D.C. politicians here, but I'm too classy to make it.
We'll talk about it during the break. Justin, you don't have a pet snake, do you? And don't make the joke you're thinking about making.
No. This is a classy radio show. I won't make any crass jokes. I don't have one, but my sister has been eyeing up a snake as a pet in the recent weeks.
I have a theory about people who think snakes are pets. And we'll share it just around the corner. It's Mike Opelka, waiting in the wings, the Earl of Tykone with his new song about the smoky air sent from Canada, this nasty, burnt Canadian air that's descended upon Philadelphia and New York. I think we should be paid for it. It's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Employee pricing isn't just for employees anymore. For a limited time only this July, everyone saves at Closet Factory, Philadelphia. Schedule your free design consultation today at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
With the high price of new and used cars today, many drivers are choosing to keep their vehicles a lot longer. But with the average car now over 12 years old, most manufacturers' warranties have expired. I'm Danica Patrick. If your car is out of warranty, a single trip to the mechanic could cost you thousands. That's why smart drivers choose Endurance. If your vehicle is less than 20 years old, no matter the mileage, Endurance could have your car covered for the drivetrain, electrical, AC, transmission, and more. And Endurance is with you every step of the way, from filing a claim to paying the mechanic of your choice directly. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. Call Endurance now and choose the plan that fits your budget. Act now and get 1 year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free.
For your fast free quote, call 800-291-0342. 800-291-0342. 800-291-0342.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Now, you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Canada started the fire, and we're gonna blame them. Hey, it's Mike Opelka, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Yes, I'm happy to be back. Thrilled that you're here as well. We have a lot on our plate today. We're going to cover more about what to expect from the president's address, but it's going to be just a little over an hour as Dr. Victoria Coates will join us. I'm also going to pick her brain about the latest situation with the kinetic military action against Iran, which we're now doing just in all hours of the day. We used to go in at night. Now we're just bombing them daylight, all that stuff. But we've been talking about the local situation here. Yes, it's hot as hell outside. And to compound things, to make things worse for people who are forced to work outside, we have this horrific fire detritus coming at us in the environment from our Canadian friends. So, yeah, thanks, Canada. Thanks for nutting. We got that happening. And our friend, the Earl of Tykone, has decided to give us a song. Earl, did we get your technical situation straightened out yet?
Yes, it was on your end. Odyssey has the state-of-the-art studios, and they're still using the Ram's horn tied to a string from the Flintstones for a phone system. So
ain't that the truth?
Well done. And, yeah, we might as well take the credit because the blame is never far behind, and you proved that. But so Earl has written a song in honor of the Canadian wildfire smoke and soot that they have sent our way, and it is a parody of the South Park kids and their Blame Canada. Earl, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so once again, I just need to make it clear that I wrote this song in 2022 during the Canadian Freedom Convoy when the truckers were protesting, or as they like to be called, trookers. So that when I mention the word trookers in the song, you understand what I'm talking about. And this was during Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister. It was just easier to sing the song and let you suffer through rather than to update it. But here I go. I can't breathe. I think I'm going to choke. Canada is burning and they're sending us their smoke. Should we blame Trudeau, or should we blame the fires or the trookers who are burning their troop tires? Hell no. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. So much smoke is in the skies, I got teardrops in my eyes. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. It's a country that needs burning anyway.
You know what, Earl? I'm going to tell you, this is one of those moments where your patience since 2022 has paid off. I don't even think you need to drop the leaflets ahead of time and explain the little sidebars there because nobody knows who's the Prime Minister of Canada anyway. We know Trudeau because he's like hanging out with Katy Perry these days as a backup dancer, which is kind of funny when you think about it. Well done, Earl. I think that's pretty good.
I was just concerned that nobody spoke Canadian and didn't understand what a trooker was.
I still don't know what a trucker is, but I remember the trucker protests. Those were the guys they went in and started messing with their bank accounts as if the same way that Jack Smith messed with so many members of the Republican Party's personal messages and email accounts. But good job, Earl. Good job. Thank you for being there today. Appreciate you jumping in early and helping us get back on track. Because I admitted to DeSantis and to Justin, I felt a little rusty. I haven't been in the bullpen for a while, but now that I'm back, I'm happy to be here, thrilled to be here, honored to be here, and more honored to have you, the great Earl of Tacony, helping us kick off the first hour. So much more to get to just around the corner. We'll get to all of it, including World Snake Day. It's Fresh Spinach Day, too, so I'm all in on that. We have new jobless numbers, and who's going to be the big VIP at the World Cup final, which, by the way, I like the World Cup. I'm okay with another sport bringing all their money to our country. I think it's a good thing. I'm not going to trash it. I'm also not buying soccer boots either. Not going out to play soccer. But we'll get into all of it. And your calls are welcome. 855-839-1210. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415. Or find them online at retirereadyfg.com and get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Hostilities between the U.S. and Iran continuing to escalate. ABC's James Longman says the Strait of Hormuz remains at the center.
A U.S. aircraft attacked a tanker trying to make port at Karg Island. That is the Iranian oil terminal in the Persian Gulf. CENTCOM says that it gave this tanker multiple warnings and it did not heed them. This is in breach of the blockade that the U.S. currently has on Iranian ports.
Tonight, President Trump will deliver a speech to Americans. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt giving a preview.
I think the American people will be relieved to hear what they are hearing from the President of the United States and his commitment to transparency and the focus on the integrity of our elections tonight.
Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News the president will detail information received from the DNI office related to the 2020 election. Some outgoing Republicans critical of the president say looking back at the 2020 elections does not help with the party's message. Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries calling for the president to be checked out, he says, saying why does he continue to focus on conspiracy theory related to the 2020 presidential election that every rational person in the U.S. knows he's lost. In Texas Hill Country, catastrophic flooding being blamed for at least one death. Governor Greg Abbott says the person died between Kerrville and Comfort. He says no camps along the flooded Guadalupe River have sustained damage. The governor also says 70 people have been rescued so far. ABC's Faith Abube is in Kerrville.
The river is quietly in the middle, usually. I'm being told that usually there are about maybe 2,000 cubic feet of water moving through the river per second. Today, at the height of it, it was about 215,000 cubic feet of water per second moving. We've been getting emergency alerts nonstop. Every few minutes, they would come in.
Retail sales soaring last month in part to Americans buying more vehicles and Amazon Prime Day purchases. You're listening to ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Ever wonder why you have insurance for your car or home, but not your digital life? Meet WebRoot Total Protection, your digital bodyguard that includes antivirus, identity protection, VPN, cloud backup, and more. With plans for individuals and families, WebRoot takes the guessing game out of cybersecurity so you can get back to living your best life online. Go to webroot.com/protect and get 60% off today. That's webroot.com/protect to get 60% off today. Live a better digital life with WebRoot because peace of mind shouldn't be optional.
A Blue Angels low flyby for beachgoers near their Florida home base this week set off a review, but it appears the incident is getting a pass from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
When President Donald Trump approached the podium to deliver his State of the Union address in February, one of the few people who knew what he was about.
Officials with the U.S. Navy's Blue Angels say that they're conducting a review of a low-altitude pass that rocked beachgoers in Pensacola Beach. On social media, though, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth writing that the flyovers will continue until morale improves, while the White House shared photos of the incident with the caption, "It's okay to love America." In Florida, 2 deputies were shot and injured in Ruskin, just south of Tampa. Police say one of the sheriff's deputies was struck in the face, the other in the neck after a suspect began firing. Deputies arriving on scene after a report that the suspect had taken his ex-girlfriend hostage overnight. Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister.
Our 2 deputy sheriffs were medevaced to Tampa General Hospital, where they're currently undergoing some of the best medical care they can receive in this county, if not in this state.
The suspect shot by a 3rd deputy, and police say he died. The suspect did while being transported to the hospital. The 3rd deputy was not injured. Scientists say a massive great white shark recently spotted and tagged off North Carolina appears to be headed north to Cape Cod. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments, just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
All right, what's the weather like out there?
It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Real hot.
Can you tell me what it feels like?
Were you born on the sun? I said it's hot.
This is Jonathan Cans, 3rd generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Is this how you're feeling right now? Well, don't let your house feel like a rainforest anymore. To keep your home cool, contact us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekanze.com.
Picture streams in our community. That's where our kids play, and dogs splash. And some of these streams provide the water we drink. But is the water in these streams clean and safe? The truth is, for most local streams, no one knows. That's a problem. One the Isaac Walton League can help you solve with the Clean Water Challenge. For almost 50 years, the Isaac Walton League of America has helped people just like you test the water in local streams, clean up pollution, and protect healthy waters. Today, the Isaac Walton League has an ambitious new goal: engage volunteers across the country to test 100,000 more streams for pollution. You can protect clean water in our community by joining the Clean Water Challenge. To get involved, visit iwla.org. That's iwla.org.
WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. Lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
He's a voice that cuts right through. Truth is hard, wild and true. Turn it up, feel that sound. Mike Opelka's in your town. Mike Opelka on WPHT. Rockin' Philly talk loud and free. Keep it locked, don't touch that dial. WPHT. Mike Opelka style.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka with you. If you're in the YouTube channel and in the chat room, how are you? Glad to see you there. There's so many people. I was perusing the chat room during the break, seeing a lot of familiar faces and starting to see the numbers creep up. We were in the 50s when we started. We're in the 70s now. Please hit the like and subscribe, and let's get that thing towards triple digits. That's the goal. I'm here today. God willing, I'm here tomorrow and the first 3 days of next week, and we will try and get to everything possible. I'm not having to wear some sort of filtering mask yet here in northern Delaware, where my little studio is located in the Freedom Bunker in North Wilmington. But when you look outside, the wildfire smoke, it's now hit Philly heavy. I talked to my brother-in-law who's working in New York City this week, said it's awful in New York City. Air quality alerts have been issued. This is the time that if you have elderly neighbors, you should check on them, maybe offer to go get their groceries for them, do something nice for the trash people, do something nice for the postal people. Maybe you put a little styrofoam cooler with some cool drinks in it out by your trash cans or by your mailbox. Just something, a little something. Give back a little bit. It'd be a good thing. But yeah, this is kind of nasty stuff. Our air quality is absolutely horrible. And yes, Canada, we're looking at you. Canada, we got real problems with you people right now. Big problems with you people right now. So many things I want to talk about that I teased at the end of last hour. Donald Trump speaking tonight, going to be addressing the nation based on everything we've heard from everyone on the conservative media side to the liberal media side. It's going to be about elections and election security and how the president wants to make sure that the upcoming election, not just the midterms, but the 2028s and beyond, are all secure. And I don't know how anybody could take exception to that kind of wish to say, hey, all we're trying to do is make the integrity rock solid. And yesterday, J.D. Vance was talking about, hey, one vote that is fraudulently cast takes away a vote or cancels the vote of a legitimate voter. And he's right. And everyone's saying, well, it's not enough to change. How do you know? Honest to God, how do you know? We're going to hear tonight, and we're being told that it's going to be shocking, the things that we'll hear. I'm reserving judgment until we actually hear what the president has to say, and I'm reserving judgment until we see somebody marched or perp walked out of their building, their home, into some sort of law enforcement situation and going on trial. We will see. Hey, you know, the guy Jack Smith, who was investigating all kinds of stuff on behalf of the Democrats, was caught perjuring himself in that hearing, and he's still walking around a free guy today. So we'll see. And speaking of Trump, Sunday is the World Cup finale, and the president is going to be there in New Jersey. He's going to attend the World Cup final game. I for one, I'm not someone who obsesses on the weekends with all the soccer games that are shown NBC seems to cover a lot of those football clubs, as they call them, from Europe. But I watched it. I watched I watched all of our team games, and then I watched some of the big matches that came up, and I found it particularly interesting. I think Messi is an incredible generational talent, and he's near the end of his soccer career, so it's kind of cool to see him still performing at a great level. And I think it's terrific that our president will attend the finale. And people are saying, hey, why does Donald Trump need to go to the final game of the World Cup match? Well, if you watched Wimbledon the past week, did you notice who was in attendance? The royal family was regularly seen in the royal box at Center Court in Wimbledon. So that's kind of a thing, because you don't really have a whole lot of British people winning Wimbledon. You have people from all around the world. And you also have visitors from all around the world coming to England to spend their money going to those tennis matches. So here we are in the United States. We've had remarkable crowds here in Philadelphia. I thought the crowds were great. We had crowds in Miami and Dallas and Kansas City and California, and now the big finale in New Jersey. I want to say the Meadowlands. It's not the Meadowlands anymore, is it, DeSantis?
It is not. I forget what MetLife Stadium.
MetLife?
I think. Yeah.
MetLife must have paid a whole lot of money to get that branding. I will be watching the finale, and I know a lot of you are not soccer fans. I know Sean Farish and Nick Hale, both of them are very vocal about their lack of appreciation for the game. Okay, that's fine. And they don't understand how people can support it. Well, think of the economics. The economics of soccer is different than the economics of football. In order to put a soccer team on the field, you need T-shirts, cleats, or they call them boots, and socks and shorts, and obviously some a protection for the tender vegetation. But you don't need a whole lot more. Some people wear shin guards, etc. But just the cost of a helmet in football and shoulder pads would outfit an entire soccer team in some of these places. So it's a good thing. And kids are running around and not riding the couch all day. So I think it's a great idea. So all of the soccer money that came into this country is one side of this that I think is just a huge win. And Donald Trump should get credit for that. The President of the United States is the one who I think really pushed to make this happen. So I think Donald Trump needs a big attaboy pat on the back for what we did, because not only did all of that travel money come to the United States, think of all the great press we as a nation received around the world from all these fans. All the people who came here and visited the United States and experienced Wawa, and experienced Buc-ee's, and experienced Chick-fil-A, and experienced ranch dressing and barbecue and all of the great, I was going to say culinary goodness, but it's not really goodness. It's just deliciousness. I think the World Cup has been a major, major success for America. Do I wish our team had gone further? Yeah, but we did better than everybody anticipated, and our guys busted their butts out there going up against legacy programs that have much deeper benches. So that's great. And I'm glad the president will go. I just wonder how many people will grouse about Donald Trump causing a security problem at MetLife Stadium. Correct me if I'm wrong, and somebody will. 855-839-1210. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there were any security blips during the matches. And we had matches in Canada and matches in Mexico, and there were hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people who attended or watched these matches. And DeSantis is telling me, what was it, Matt? Something like $17 billion in additional revenue came into the country because of this?
Yeah, that's what's expected to be added to the U.S. GDP at the end of the year. And there's an estimate of about 185,000 jobs created or supported by having the World Cup held in the United States.
That's fantastic. See, this is great. This is absolutely great. Again, Donald Trump deserves an attaboy, a Major League Soccer attaboy for bringing the World Cup to the United States. Happens every 4 years, and God knows when we'll get another chance to get it. Mexico had a little participation. Canada had a little participation. But basically, this was the United States of America World Cup. And we showed off, I think, brilliantly. But we haven't had any, there haven't been any incidents of violence or terrorism attached to the World Cup, have there, Matt?
I don't think so. And it seems as though the tourists that came here from Europe were blown away by how safe the United States was compared to where they came from, which is also really cool.
A wonderful bit of PR for our country. And I'm so happy that it happened on Donald Trump's watch, and so happy that all these people got to see it. And for my money, all the haters, you're missing out. You're missing the opportunity. Just because you don't like the sport or can't play the sport doesn't mean you have to trash it. That's what I tell everybody who tells me golf isn't a sport. I know it's a game, but it's a game that makes me happy. And if people are playing, you know what will change Nick Cale's opinion of soccer? When his daughters start playing soccer. I know they're playing softball and they do dance, but the minute his daughters start playing soccer, can you imagine when they come home and go, Dad, we need to talk to you about something. We'd like to play soccer. And then you hear the scream from Nick. We'll be able to hear it all the way here in the city. It'll be coming from Nick's home on the golf course. No! Anyway, very happy about soccer. I got to check the phones. They're actually bubbling up here. So let's go into the phones again. 855-839-1210. Tara from New Jersey. Hello, Tara.
Hey, my dear. How are you?
I'm good. What? I'm sorry. What did you call me?
I said, my dear.
Oh, I thought you said Nabil, and I'm going, are you calling the right show? Hello,
I simply
Tara.
called. I only wanted to say, because I do notice that this World Cup being in America has really brought a lot of world peace, it seems like. Makes us look really good.
You're saying this is a good thing for world peace to have the World Cup here?
It seems that way. Yeah, everybody is looking at America like we're not so bad because of everything they've been told, all the negative press we've had, and they're here saying that we're not that bad.
See, I think you are spot on. You are so right. This is one of those unplanned positive benefits from having this here. And maybe President Trump and his team knew that would happen. Maybe the people that thought, hey, there's going to be more than just an economic benefit that comes out of this. There's going to be a great benefit in terms of our image. And America showed up.
Exactly.
I think we showed off. I think Philadelphia looked fantastic every time I tuned into a match that was being played here. And I think every other place seemed to show up very well. The Dallas matches look great, all of it. So now, are you a soccer fan, Tara?
I am not.
Yeah, it's
not whatsoever.
I don't
I just
understand.
like American football and baseball.
Yeah, I love American football and American baseball and American hockey. But this is one of those sports that it's kind of like the Olympics. There's a lot of sports that we don't necessarily excel in, but it doesn't mean you can't watch them and like them and learn about them.
No, that's true.
And especially here, we can't. It doesn't preclude us from cashing in on them. So that was a good thing. Very good.
Very nice to see that.
It is.
Really
Now,
did
Tara,
help bring us a lot of money. Yes.
Tara, what part of Jersey are you in?
I am in Gloucester County in Westville.
Okay. How bad is the smoke for you?
It's actually not too bad. You can't really notice it. I'm more in South Jersey.
Well, we might be stopping. The Philadelphia may be picking up all the smoke that was going to blow across the bridge and come to you. So maybe you're good. Maybe the river's blocking it too.
You
so
may
that's a
be
good
right.
thing.
I think you're right.
That's a good thing. Well, I appreciate you being there.
Yes.
Thank you. We love the
Thank
fact
you
that you're
for
saying.
always having great conversations. I'll always listen when you're on. Have yourself a good day.
Thank you. God bless. That's kind of nice to hear. She's lucky because we in, as I've said, North Wilmington, Delaware, we seem to be getting a pretty heavy hit when it comes to the smoke. Now, I'm going to bring this up. I know we're going to start to get busy here as the show moves on. The show just moves too quickly. I'm not advocating for the fourth hour to return. Rich Zioli's show obviously follows the show.
God, please, no. Don't do that.
Wow. I haven't heard Justin get that terrified in a long time.
He sprinted to that microphone.
The fourth hour gives me PTSD.
Wow, sorry. There's a little bit of a flashback there. Sorry, Justin. I'm just saying, look, we have our friend Sarah Parshall-Parry joining us, VP and legal fellow at Defending Education. We got to talk about the Supreme Court justices who appeared in a Senate hearing asking for more money, and I want to get into that, but we will just around the corner. And then Dr. Victoria Coates joins us to kick off the third and final hour of the show today to kind of think about what's going to happen or what might be discussed in the speech, as well as what's going on with our action against Iran. Are we ever any closer to any kind of deal? The president keeps saying, oh, they want a deal, they want a deal. I don't trust Iran at all. Just, you can't. But it's also a World Snake Day. And I'm not a fan of the snakes. I never had a snake as a pet. I don't think it could be considered a pet. I think it can be considered food. If you've ever had snake, it's not bad. I've had rattlesnake, and they make great boots and belts and wallets and purses. DeSantis, have you ever eaten snake?
I have not. I'm a big Doug Burgum fan. I know he eats deep fried rattlesnake. However, I'm not following down that path. No, thank you.
Not even, you wouldn't go to like a rattlesnake roundup. Like in the spring when I lived in Texas, you go out to Sweetwater out in the Panhandle, and they would have rattlesnake roundup where they'd have people getting the rattlesnakes out of the snake holes when they were still kind of slumbering from the winter, and they'd milk them for the venom, and there'd be a giant pit about 100 feet across with a 3-foot high fence around it. And it'd be filled with just rattlesnakes. People come up with their burlap sacks, and they'd weigh the total amount of rattlesnake they had caught. And then if they had a long one, they would measure it, and you get paid for the pelt. And they'd give out prizes for the biggest. And they'd have all kinds of bands playing. And for $1, you could get yourself a plate of rattlesnake steak.
Oh.
And that was good eating with a nice cold Lone Star beer. Yum, yum. Give me some.
You've not sold me on snake meat. I'm out.
You wouldn't even know it. I guarantee you.
What does it taste like? Chicken?
Yeah, of course it did. Everything with enough beer, everything tastes like chicken. Now, the people that walk around, like if you're going to a street fair and someone's walking around, they've got a python around their neck, I just think you're saying, hey, look at me. Look at me. I have a snake for a pet. It's not a pet. It's a pest. That's all I'm going to say. You don't have a pet. A pet you can train. Even cats, I think, qualify as a pet because you can train them to do a couple of things. They're nothing like dogs. I get it. But the snakes are not pets. So World Snake Day, I'm sorry, I'm not down. I'm not falling for it, as the clever people would say. Not in for this at all. But if you're a snake fan, you want to defend World Snake Day, you're welcome. 855-839-1210, 855-839-1210. Plus, can you imagine? Oh, the snake has to eat. Can you pick up some live mice at the pet store? You got to go buy live mice that you're going to give the death sentence to, and you're going to put them in your snake aquarium. Not a good idea. My snakeskin boots, though, they are good. Almost as tasty as the rattlesnake steak. See, I think the whole thing about pets and pests comes down to somebody that was dyslexic, and they were writing snake equals pest, P-E-S-T, and they accidentally wrote P-E-T-S. And then somebody goes, oh, that'd be good. Let's get us some snakes, and we'll have them as, you could take them for a slither around the yard. No, you can't. We will discuss Justices Amy Coney Barrett and Elena Kagan and their congressional testimony asking for more money with Sarah Parshall-Perry just around the corner. It's Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. While the sun's out and the summer's in full swing, Kitchen Magic wants to help you fall back in love with your kitchen. They're a family-owned business right in Nazareth, PA since 1979, and for over 45 years, promising high quality and craftsmanship. This summer only, 40% off installation with flexible financing options for every budget. Don't wait for someday. Visit kitchenmagic.com and build something beautiful together. KitchenMagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, it's Nick Gale. Captivating and charismatic. The Range Rover Evoque is engineered for comfort at every turn. Combines contemporary luxury with peerless refinement. Discover this and more at 1.9% APR for 60 months or lease for $619 per month for 36 months. Drive one home today from Land Rover Westchester, Willow Grove, Wilmington, or Harrisburg.
2026 Range Rover Evoque S lease with $69.95 due at signing. Includes down payment, zero security deposit, acquisition fee, and first month's payment. Tax and license excluded for well-qualified lessees. See dealer for details.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Tesla appears to be emerging from its year-long sales slump as it reported more than 480,000 deliveries in the second quarter. That was a gain of 25% compared to a year earlier and crushed market estimates by about 75,000. The Model 3 and Model Y made up the bulk of the deliveries for Tesla, with all other models, including the Cybertruck, accounting for just over 12,000 deliveries. I'm Jason Brooks.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Yeah, I'm back in the saddle again. It's 4:32 on this steamy, smoky, Canadian smoky Thursday on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka with you. Honored, truly honored to be back with you guys. And so many of you, I was just wandering through the YouTube chat room. Thank you to everybody that's in there playing along, having a good conversation, talking about what are you eating, snake meat. And I was checking out Mangle Mush. I think it's been to some of the same events I've had. Although the duck hearts thing, anytime we start talking about the innards, it gets a little dicey. I know foie gras is great, and there are a lot of people that have very passionate feelings against foie gras. I'm good with it. I'm okay. But we were talking about eating rattlesnake steak because, you know, when you round up the rattlesnakes and milk them for the venom, you really don't want to put them back out there in the prairie. You want to take care of business and skin them and make purses and shoes and belts and all kinds of stylish things. And then nothing left to do but cook them up good. Mine weren't fried. They were pan seared rattlesnake steaks, the ones I had. But delicious stuff. I'm a chicken gizzards guy, though. I do like some stewed chicken gizzards. So the culinary discussion that's happening in the chat room is fascinating. Let it continue throughout the show. We have other fish to fry, as it were. I wonder if our next guest has ever experienced the delight of a delicious, freshly cooked plate of freshly killed rattlesnake. Sarah Parshall-Perry, been with us before, Vice President, Legal Fellow at Defending Education, and she was brought in here under false pretenses, thinking we're going to talk about what the Supreme Court justices testified in Congress 2 days ago. But she's here today. So, Sarah, before we get to the serious conversation, have you ever enjoyed rattlesnake steak?
I have not. I cannot say that I have. However, I'd like the record to reflect that I did pull a black rat snake out of the attic of my home with my bare hands about 3 years ago, much to my family's dismay, because there's some things that scare me and some things that don't. Snakes apparently do not bother me at all. I'm a competitive horseback rider. I encounter these a lot when I'm out on the trails riding. They don't bother me. I have yet to test, though, whether or not they're delicious.
Well, this is amazing. Now, how big was the rat snake that you wrestled out of the attic?
It was about 6.5 feet long, so it was a good-sized bugger. I will tell you that.
Wow. I think that officially qualifies you, and forgive me for the clarity on this, as a badass. I think that...
Listen, I like to think of myself that way. I don't know if my kids would agree. I'm still the dork that is constantly telling them they've got to go out with their hair combed and their teeth brushed. But you know what? In another life, I was definitely a badass.
I love that. That's such a great story. Now, how did you know it was up in the attic? Did you think it was a squirrel or something?
Well, I tell you what, I went up and actually saw a head of a snake hanging down from the ceiling. And what I realized he was doing was warming himself because, of course, they're cold-blooded creatures, they're reptiles. Yeah. And so he had found a warm pocket in the attic. This was during the summer, and had come out to sort of warm himself up. And I just grabbed him right behind the back of his head, snatched him up in one fell swoop, kept my thumb against the back of his jaw so he couldn't bite me, and then just tossed him out into the woods where he scampered off very happily.
This is fantastic. This is absolutely wonderful. So you didn't really hurt him. You liberated him.
I liberated him. Yes, it is true. And I do not live in that house anymore. So for all I know, he has come back to re-inhabit the property, but it's no longer my problem.
You had a squatting snake in the attic. By the way, we talked about this about a month ago, and DeSantis is a sidebar, Sarah, because we never have any meetings about the show before or after. DeSantis, write down squatters. We got to get that guy on the show. It's a great show. So, Sarah, a couple days ago, I want to talk about this. I want to preface this with a short clip before we get into it. We had two Supreme Court justices testifying before a congressional committee. I think you wouldn't have to take your mittens off to count the number of times something like this happens. Just very rare. Amy Coney Barrett, Elena Kagan, Supreme Court justices going before a committee to justify the case for asking for more money for their security. Let's just hit a quick clip from Amy Coney Barrett.
When threats to my life were particularly intense a few years ago, around the time of the Dobbs leak, my security detail sent me home with a bulletproof vest, and I carried it into my house, put it into my bedroom, dropped it down on a table, turned around, and my 12-year-old son was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and he wanted to know what it was and why I had it, and I didn't know how to respond because maybe I lack imagination, but I didn't expect that performing this service was going to put me in the position of explaining to my children what a bulletproof vest was and why I had to wear one.
It's kind of a terrifying reality as a parent. I doubt you've ever had to bring a bulletproof vest into your home, have you, Sarah?
I have not, but I have to tell you, my heart really went out to both of the justices because you realize exactly how much these individuals who are members of the apolitical, as Marbury versus Madison once wrote, the least political branch. They are to be outside of politics. And so they are tasked simply with interpreting what the law says. That is their solemn constitutional duty. And yet, because so many of the cases that go to the Supreme Court now are on hot-button cultural issues, you heard Justice Barrett mention the Dobbs decision. That was the decision, the watershed decision that overturned Roe versus Wade. We have cases on everything from free speech for a Christian counselor out in the state of Colorado to whether or not parents can opt their children out of LGBTQ-themed curriculum, to whether or not an individual can get so-called gender-affirming care if the state bans that care. This is what we've seen in simply 2 terms alone, not to mention the women's sports decision cases that just came out at the end of the term. Hot-button cultural issues. And unfortunately, what we've seen is a response from the public that is political in nature to a problem that is utterly apolitical. And so these 2 justices, and I know there was certainly something to be said of the optics, both women, both appointed by 2 different presidents, one Kagan appointed by Obama, obviously Barrett appointed by Trump. They came from different political backgrounds. They were both appointed by 2 entirely disparate presidents who had different ideologies, but they came together in one unifying concept, which is to say the judiciary, and specifically the Supreme Court, is in need of additional assistance, and I think their request was entirely reasonable.
So you found it reasonable. I know there have been some talk radio commentators who've said you basically have 24/7 protection of these 9 justices that involves a detail anywhere from 4 to 8 officers every single day, 365 days a year. That's frankly, that seems excessive to me. But then again, you had a guy who traveled from California all the way to D.C. after the leak of the Dobbs decision with intentions to kill 3 Supreme Court justices, and he was trying to move on the first plan. So I go back and forth on this because I also feel like it's kind of incumbent upon the politicians in the country to step up and tamp down some of the rhetoric. When you have Chuck Schumer, who is, well, I'm not even going to get into what he's famous for this week, but when he stood outside the Supreme Court and basically threatened Kavanaugh and said, you know, you have brought this upon yourselves.
You're going to reap the whirlwind, were his words. Yes.
Yes. See, there's part of the problem there is the words of the politicians who call themselves leaders have consequences. And I don't hear any of them stepping up and saying, hey, Supreme Court justices don't deserve the kind of anger and vitriol that is being foisted upon them, but they never will. They won't apologize for themselves. But it just seems like at what point do we say enough to the security request? Because it seems like it's a big ask, and I want to make sure everybody understands I said ask, A-S-K, and not anything else.
No, and you're absolutely right. Listen, they're asking for a roughly 7% increase from their current funding, and security accounts for a lot of that request, right? So of the $20 million overall increase that the court is seeking, $14.5 million of that goes toward protecting the justices at work, and another $2 million toward protecting them at home. Okay, so again, you've got 9 justices on the Supreme Court. The number has always been 9. It's not constitutionally required. Court packing is an entirely different discussion. But when you extrapolate that out for additional security measures at the home, whether that be Ring door cameras or whether or not that be motion-activated lights, these are individuals, and I know full well where Justice Amy Coney Barrett lives because she lives next door to a dear friend of mine. And so I will tell you, after the Dobbs leak, for weeks on end, this is a mother of multiple children. They were protesting day and night, sirens, lights, flashlights into the home. That is something I don't think that any justice should anticipate experiencing or should be forced to experience without the cover of the federal government appropriating sufficient protective money for them. And you're right. I lay this at the feet of Congress. When you have people like Chuck Schumer and Mazie Hirono and Maxine Waters calling to disrupt individuals who have been appointed by Trump, people who are in the executive agencies, who are in the judiciary, those are individuals for whom I lay the blame squarely at their feet. These people should be fully aware of the fact that in stirring the pot and increasing the rhetoric for the American people, they have given license to the average American person who, for example, like the one who set out and flew cross country to Kavanaugh's home with every intent to assassinate the justice, they give those individuals licenses. My attitude is that to protect the integrity of the judiciary, and again, we know that all things considered, $20 million is a lot of money. We cannot stop spending money. My attitude is, if we're going to spend money, let's make sure that these individuals who have pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to serve the Constitution and the people of this nation are protected in doing just that. No one should have to sign a disclaimer saying that their security and their personal safety is not guaranteed simply because they take the oath of office.
Well said. Nice callback to the Declaration of Independence. I love that as well. We're talking with Sarah Parshall-Parry and talking about the hearing with the Supreme Court justices, 2 women, 2 females asking for more security money. And you've kind of turned me on this because I was like, wait a minute, we spend a lot on security. And maybe we close some of these fraudulent daycare centers in Brooklyn, and we could free up $30 or $40 million. Sarah, can we talk about something else that I think is near and dear to your heart and mine as well, and that's some of the education issues that you're talking about with defending education?
Yes.
I need to talk about this because I believe, and I don't have kids. I'm a fantastic uncle, at least I like to think I am, but I know a lot of people that are in the world of homeschooling or involved in their kids' schoolings by being participants in school boards or at least attending school board meetings on a regular basis. I feel like we are getting very close, and I'm saying this close, holding my thumb and forefinger about a centimeter apart, to having the Democrats come out against homeschooling, trying to find a way to block it. Do you feel like there's a movement to shut down the homeschooling because, frankly, it's been successful?
I got to tell you, we're exactly seeing that same thing. And here's where we're seeing it come to the head, right? So we've got the Department of Treasury engaged in rulemaking on the federal tax scholarship credit. This is an opportunity for average everyday Americans to opt in to any particular education SGO, right, state governing organization that grants scholarships to provide them tax relief, but also to give them educational choice. Here's where we're seeing the rubber meet the road. Currently, right now, in the regulations that are being developed, there is a debate inside the walls of the Treasury about whether or not homeschools can be considered schools for purposes of the Treasury regulations. That's going to be a significant impact because if millions of dollars will be funneled through these SGOs and these scholarship granting organizations who have the ability to thumbs up or thumbs down educational choice and can provide a tax benefit and funding of these alternative education options. And by the way, who doesn't want that, right? My children were products of public education only so long as they had less of an impact than the school itself had on them. My younger two had to spend their last 2 years in private school because they lost so much learning education post-COVID. But we want scholarship opportunities to go to everyone, and we want them to go to homeschools. Homeschool kids, statistically speaking, are better and outperforming all of their public school cohorts. In fact, the 3 American civics winners for the 1776 prize at the U.S. Department of Education that were awarded by President Donald Trump were all homeschooled kids. So where we are going to see this sort of nipping at the heels of the homeschool movement is going to be what is defined as a school going forward. And my very deep, I think, long-held prediction, and I would be surprised if this isn't true, is that the NEA and the AFT, the teachers' unions, the 2 biggest teachers' unions in the United States, are going to sue the Trump Department of Education and Treasury over the federal tax scholarship choice credits because they will want to make sure every kid has to go to public school. But how that plays out will remain to be seen.
Yeah, that's the question. Who has more power, the Treasury and the administration or the teachers' unions? The teachers' unions have the numbers, and they think they have the money, but I think the Treasury might have a little deeper pockets, if you know what I'm saying.
Exactly it. That's exactly it. Listen, we're seeing the Democratic Socialists of America with an established track record of expounding radical, divisive, and anti-Semitic ideologies. And guess where they're sending their information? Directly into the public school system. No wonder the teachers' unions don't want kids out of public education. They want them indoctrinated. They want them propagated. They want future Democratic Socialist voters because in doing so, you have revived the ecosystem of Marxism that has failed nation after nation for decades. Unfortunately, our organization exists to prevent precisely that scenario. So we are looking forward to fighting them everywhere and anywhere, including in court if necessary.
And we will be standing shoulder to shoulder with you on that, making sure that the message gets out. Sarah Parshall Perry on Twitter, X at Sarah with an HP Perry, Sarah with an HP Perry. I so appreciate the work you're doing on behalf of the future generations of kids and making sure education is the best it can be everywhere in this country for every single kid. Thanks, Sarah, and just keep being a badass and chasing down those snakes. We love it.
Thanks again for having me.
My pleasure. And there she goes. I have to take a break here. I know we didn't get to it. There's a couple of crazy stories out there, but there's a really big story about the guy that runs the teleprompter for President Trump. He's been placed on administrative leave. Why? Sounds like something Nancy Pelosi would be jealous of. We'll get into it. It's Mike Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When it comes to your home, you shouldn't have to roll the dice with a small contractor or pay the high prices of a giant one. At Lemus Remodeling Group, a family-owned company, you get the perfect balance. Expert exterior remodeling from a team that's nationally recognized and neighborhood trusted. From roofing and siding to windows, doors, and gutters, the Lemus team delivers quality work, honest pricing, and a home that feels brand new. Call 610-GO-LEMUS to schedule your free consultation today or visit their website at golemus.com. Lemus Remodeling Group. Trust Lemus for a lifetime.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
This piece is perfect, but I'm just not sure about the color.
Honey, this is Bucks County Estate Traders. They're a one-stop shop with their in-house upholstery service. Their design team can help us customize it to fit our living room perfectly.
Even if I'm thinking bright purple?
Okay, let's talk about this.
Bring your vision to life, however bold it may be. With Bucks County Estate Traders' in-house upholstery service, our craftsmen can redesign any piece on the showroom floor to make it yours. Visit our Hatfield showroom today or click buckscountyestatetraders.com.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and got $150 in bonus bets, just for signing up.
At least someone scored.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
You know what I don't like? Paying for something twice. I can't stand that. Hey, it's Rich Zioli. That's why when it comes to your roof, siding, doors, and windows, there's only one call you should make, and that's to my guys at Emmons Roofing and Siding. Emmons is a platinum Owens Corning contractor, which means that Owens Corning backs not just the shingles, but the workmanship as well for life. That's right, for life. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, residential or commercial, done right the first time, every time. Go to emmonsroofing.com.
Attention! This is a pesticide exposure alert. The pesticide chlorpyrifos, used as an insect repellent, has now been linked to neurodevelopmental disorders in children and Parkinson's disease. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with a neurodevelopmental disease after being exposed to chlorpyrifos, you may qualify for potential compensation. Visit govictory68.com now to see if you qualify. Across the country, pesticide manufacturers have already faced multi-billion-dollar lawsuits and settlements over alleged health risks. Now, people exposed to chlorpyrifos are taking legal action, alleging this pesticide caused serious neurological injuries in both adults and children. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with a neurodevelopmental disease after chlorpyrifos exposure, don't wait. Strict filing deadlines may apply. Visit govictory68.com today to see if you qualify. Go to govictory68.com. That's govictory68.com.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services by the Goldwater Law Firm in Phoenix, Arizona. Primary legal services performed by co-counsel law firms. For additional disclaimers, go to goldwaterlawfirm.com.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Mike Opelka coming to you live from the Freedom Free Speech bunker in North Wilmington, Delaware. And I'm not going outside because you need a mask. And it's not because of COVID. It's because of the damn Canadian wildfires that are sending their Canadian ash here. I said ash, A-S-H. Don't get tense. We haven't done the... We haven't done the Florida license plate story. We'll get to it next hour if we can. But the breaking story that, my God, CNN is all over this. They can't get enough of this. President Trump's longtime teleprompter operator is in some hot water. The gentleman, Gabriel Perez, or Perez, I don't know how he pronounces it, but he is the teleprompter operator to the president. So if we call the President of the United States POTUS, what do we call the teleprompter operator to? So that's T-O-T. He's Tote POTUS. He's the Tote POTUS to the teleprompter operator. Is in some hot water on administrative leave, allegedly used inside knowledge of the president's speeches to win $100,000, more than $100,000 on the prediction markets like Kalshi. So he's got the, if you've never seen a teleprompter, if you haven't worked in the business, they take a document in a computer and load it into the computer, and then it feeds the teleprompter, which scrolls it up on the screens in front of the president. And a good teleprompter operator understands your rate of utterance and moves it quicker and slower depending on how fast you're speaking. They're worth their weight in gold. But this guy apparently worth his weight in Kalshi predictions because he knew what the speech was going to be and went online, allegedly. I just wonder, how do you get mad at this guy when you have so many members of Congress who look like they've been trading on insider information for decades, Nancy Pelosi? And this guy's in hot water. I think all of us probably would have done it, given the opportunity. But we'll see what happens. The left side of the mainstream media is going to make hay out of this all night long. I'm betting it's coming up tonight during the speech. Someone will wonder who's running the teleprompter tonight. We will see. I got to take a break. When we get back, Dr. Victoria Coates joins us. We'll find out what's the latest with Iran and maybe her prediction on the speech. We'll see what's going on. It's Mike Opelka, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers. And on the sidelines, we cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Renewed strikes between the U.S. and Iran continuing, the U.S. targeting ships trying to reach Iranian ports, and Iran also launching and targeting U.S. assets in the region. The stalemate in the Strait leading to uncertainty for oil and shipping. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president wants Iran to open the Strait.
President Trump is not going to sit by and allow these active acts of terrorism to take place in the Strait without ensuring Iran pays consequences for that, and that's what we are witnessing right now.
In a few hours, the president will deliver a speech. Levitt says his remarks will focus on election integrity ahead of the midterms. ABC's Rachel Scott has more on the president's speech.
Sources say the president is expected to detail information he says he received from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence related to the 2020 election. Of course, President Trump has long pushed conspiracy theories and false claims about the 2020 election, which he lost.
In Texas Hill Country, high river rescues continuing due to flash flooding. The governor says one person died. Dozens of others have been rescued. ABC's Jim Ryan on the challenges.
The swiftwater rescue crews pre-positioned along the Guadalupe River are being put to the test today.
There's that elderly couple that's trapped in their house. I don't know if we can get to them or not.
I've got many boat crews that are ready to go over there.
The audio from Broadcastify. The state has deployed more than 800 vehicles and 1,300 personnel for rescue and recovery efforts, with more help coming from Louisiana and Oklahoma.
The CDC tracking cases of cyclosporiasis across 34 states, 7,000 cases nationwide, with more than half of those cases centered in Michigan.
The epicenter is in Michigan, where doctors tell us they typically see less than 50 cases per year. Now it's up to 600 per day. Health officials there say the outbreak could be tied to lettuce or salad greens, but nationwide, federal officials still have not identified a cause.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. You're listening to ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Ever wonder why you have insurance for your car or home, but not your digital life? Meet Webroot Total Protection, your digital bodyguard that includes antivirus, identity protection, VPN, cloud backup, and more. With plans for individuals and families, Webroot takes the guessing game out of cybersecurity so you can get back to living your best life online. Go to webroot.com/protect and get 60% off today. That's webroot.com/protect to get 60% off today. Live a better digital life with Webroot, because peace of mind shouldn't be optional.
Wildfires in Canada triggering health alerts across the Midwest and Northeast. Drifting smoke setting in along with the heat dome. In western states, the threat of wildfires in parts of California leading utility companies to take precautions.
When wildfire conditions become dangerous here in California, it's now routine for power companies to proactively shut off electricity. So if power lines come down, they don't start wildfires that run and can be deadly in high wind. Pacific Gas and Electric has shut off power in areas east and south of the San Francisco Bay Area. Southern California Edison has turned off the power for about 450 customers in Santa Barbara County. The heat and wind should improve going into the weekend, allowing the electricity to be turned back on. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Officials with Prediction Trading Market, Kalshi, have notified federal regulators this week that they plan to allow users to bet on the percentage of on-time or delayed flights at airports nationwide. That's drawing fierce criticism from airline experts. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Airlines for America, though, the trade group representing the nation's air carriers, says it has serious concerns. Writing in a statement, the safety and security of the aviation system should never be treated as a betting proposition. The industry also warns that these bets could give bad actors an incentive to find ways to get flights canceled so they can win big.
Kalshi's proposal is now in the hands of regulators. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk because you're not sure their coverage is every bit as reliable as Big Wireless, why not take them for a test drive? For a limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited data plan. No contracts, no commitments. Just a great deal on a high-speed network with unlimited data from an American wireless company. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
There's a moment when performance becomes unstoppable. Because once you've found your drive, ordinary just isn't enough. The versatile BMW X3 turns ambition into action. The X5 boasts unrivaled comfort and confidence. And the iconic 3 Series delivers pure exhilaration. Why settle when greatness is within reach? The BMW Ultimate Sales Event on now.
Visit BMW of Westchester on Route 202 for a personalized test drive today.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now, The Drive at 5. 30 minutes of non-stop talk from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Turn it up, crank the dial. Mike Opelka is back to make you smile. He's the voice that cuts right through. Back on 1210, Opelka's here for you. The truth has no agenda, and neither does he. So kick back and enjoy the show on WPHT. Mike Opelka's in your town.
I am in your town. I'm in your ears right now, effectively. And don't be putting Q-tips in there. It doesn't work. It only pushes the gunk inside further. Don't do that. It is Mike Opelka. It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. We have a lot to get to in the final third hour of the show today. I'm so happy to be back today. I almost pulled a diva move today. I have to be very honest with you all, because this audience is so great and so understanding of this gig and this work and this radio station. But I have not been on the radio for about a month, and I wanted to come back very badly. And I talked with Matt DeSantis, and I said, not to sound like, who was that supermodel who said she doesn't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day? I think it was Carol Alt or Linda Evangelista, one of those names from the 80s back in the day. But I said, I don't want to do the show today. I do not want to do the radio show today unless Dr. Victoria Coates can find a little time to talk to us today. And DeSantis said, I'm on it. And here we are at 8 minutes after 5 o'clock on this just sweltering, nasty, hot day with the Canadian ash, ASH, flying over the city and getting into everybody's nasal passages. But we've got a big day and big night ahead of us with the president speaking. So who better to talk to than the former Deputy National Security Advisor and the Vice President of the Davis Institute for National Security and Foreign Policy at Heritage, our friend Dr. Victoria Coates. Dr. Coates, thanks for being here.
Welcome back, Mike. And I assume that Matt's going to Venmo me that $10,000?
No, that was for me. I don't get out of bed. Well, yeah, I don't think of you as a diva, though, Dr. Coates. Can you imagine? That was back in the 80s when $10,000 was worth something, too.
Yeah, I think it's probably $1 million a day now for the big models. But in any event, it's great to be with you, and I'm glad that you're back on the air.
I'm happy to be here, thrilled. And today especially, it feels like this is a very significant day. And we've got a couple of things I want to talk about. There was a vote yesterday in the House of Representatives that I think was kind of stunning to see how many Democrats voted not to support with foreign aid our great friends, the State of Israel. Did that surprise you at all, the huge numbers of Democrats who voted against supporting Israel financially?
No, sadly, it didn't surprise me at all. I was actually surprised there weren't more of them, because this has become an article of faith for the Democrats. And quite frankly, for far too many, what you might call alt-right Republicans, that there's something wrong with Israel, that Israel's the problem. Israel's controlling us. Israel's trying to drag us into wars in the Middle East. And I'm done with it. I've had it up to here. It's ridiculous. It's anti-American is what it is. And, it's interesting. I have the paperback of my original art book, David Sling, A History of Democracy in 10 Works of Art, is coming out this November, and I have to write a new preface. I'm working on it right now. And 10 years ago, it was not controversial in any way to name a book David Sling. It was kind of cool that the name of my book shared a name with an Israeli missile program. Now, this is going to be fodder for all the conspiracy theorists on both sides. And that's where we've come in 10 years, is now here we have Democrats opposing what was originally an Obama-era initiative to provide security assistance to Israel. That's how far gone they are. And so I think all Americans need to take a long look in the mirror and decide, are we going to go down this road of thinly veiled anti-Semitism, because that's what it is, and make that a cornerstone of our society? Or do we want to look at history and say, gee, this has never turned out well. We don't want this.
Yeah, that's a great question. Now, Dr. Coates, I don't know if the details of our relationship and our support of Israel are the same, but back when I looked into this a while back, when we gave Israel monetary support, if they purchased anything in terms of defense, it came to us. They purchased from us. So it effectively was an American jobs program, because they were buying weapons and artillery ammunition from America. So that basically made some pretty good paying jobs here in the U.S., and it helped prevent us from having to go and protect Israel with our military, allowing them to do it themselves. And if they invented anything, we owned half the patent rights on it. So it also could be revenue generating. Is that still the case? Do you know?
Yes, it's absolutely the case. And this is what's so mind-bogglingly stupid about this, is we have developed this unique relationship with Israel over it really dates back to President Reagan. And the first MOU on security assistance, the missile defense MOU, and the intelligence sharing MOU. And, by the way, our first free trade agreement we ever had as the United States with Israel, hugely beneficial to both of us. So in terms of the weapon systems development in the sort of late aughts, 2008, 2009, when Israel was developing Iron Dome, the first mobile rocket interceptor program, we actually didn't participate in Iron Dome because we didn't think it was going to work. But then when it worked, we said, wow, this is great. And it became a real favorite of the U.S. Congress. It has become a joint program. David Sling and Arrow are both joint programs. As you say, we now have intellectual property in this. They are the systems of choice for around the world. Everyone from Germany to Japan wants to buy them, and I think that's a great way for us to protect partners and allies. During Epic Fury, Israel deployed Iron Dome to UAE with IDF soldiers to man it, an incredible development in terms of regional missile defense for Israel and the United States against Iran. All of this is in our benefit. And then on top of that, if anybody watched the coverage over the weekend of, Senator Graham's passing, Prime Minister Netanyahu was on talking about his obviously very close relationship with Senator Graham, but he said where they were actually differing on policy right now was on the Prime Minister's interest in getting rid of that security assistance. When he was economic minister in the 1990s, he got rid of what was then direct economic assistance from the United States to Israel. He said, we don't need this anymore. We need investment. We need to develop our economy, not just take handouts from the United States. So he ended that. We at Heritage had a proposal last year to do this, and I'm proud to say that's now the stated policy of the government of Israel, to start reducing that, turn it from foreign military financing to foreign military sales, because Israel can afford it. They're developing very nicely despite being in a state of war every 15 minutes due to Hamas and Hezbollah. So that argument just makes no sense. And the argument that we get a huge amount out of this, that the relationship is developing, improving, strengthening, making both of us stronger, is where all the facts are.
It's stunning to me when you say that the Israeli defense, the IDF, effectively provided the United Arab Emirates systems to protect themselves from Iranian missiles coming in. That's not a phrase I ever expected to hear, that the Israeli nation would be defending an Arab nation against another Arab nation, a rogue nation, a terror state, as it were, with Iran. But that's stunning to me. Can we? I want to get to Iran, but I want to put one more button on this discussion of Israel, because I heard today, and it's not getting reported anywhere, that Israel has been effectively negotiating with Lebanon to end the military conflict there, and nobody's talking about that at all.
No, and this is, again, all the folks on both sides who keep saying, they want to drag us into their wars. When did Israel ever ask us to go to war in Lebanon for them? When did Israel ask us for boots on the ground in Gaza? When did Israel ask us for boots on the ground in Iran? The most recent Iran action, Epic Fury, was instigated by President Trump, not by Prime Minister Netanyahu, because President Trump judged it in the best interests of the United States. Now, in Lebanon, the dirty little secret is the presence of the IDF in southern Lebanon is what is keeping the current government of Lebanon and Beirut in power. The Israelis are systematically degrading Hezbollah, getting rid of their capabilities, preventing them from holding Lebanon hostage as they have for so many decades now, and giving the Lebanese government a chance to stand up, start to implement some reforms, start to build back their institutions. And President Erdogan will be in Washington next week. He's going to be visiting, I'm sure, meeting with President Trump and to talk about this. But the fact of the matter is that Israel is the one who's bringing peace to Lebanon, not bringing war to Lebanon.
That's news that's not getting reported anywhere. Now, you were on News Nation recently, day before yesterday, or it was yesterday, talking about the situation with Iran. And a lot of us we're tired of this. I know the left is trying to put the quagmire word out there. This started at the end of February. It's still relatively new when it comes to military conflicts, but I think we're all hoping the Iranian situation can get wrapped up sooner rather than later. What's your take on where we are right now?
No, I mean, 100%. Everybody, including the president, wants to get this wrapped up, but he has given maybe too much of a chance to the Iranians to do the right thing, come to the table, make a reasonable deal. They have refused, and so now he is escalating the military pressure on them. And, we could watch this happen in a very deliberate fashion. What have we started to do? We started to strike them during the day now. We don't need the cover of darkness anymore. We can strike them whenever we want. We've so degraded their ability to strike back. Where are their missiles raining down on Israel, as they say they're going to do? Where are the Houthi missiles closing the Bab al-Mandeb mouth of the Red Sea? This isn't happening. They're down to firing off some pot shots. I don't like it. I don't want them to be firing at Kuwait and Qatar and UAE and Jordan and Oman. But at the same time, all of those missiles are getting intercepted. They don't have the capability to really make a major strike, and it's uniting the region against them. It's not just that Iron Dome deployed to UAE. All these other countries are saying this is ridiculous. And bear in mind, most of these Gulf states are essentially businesses that have a national identity, and so this is bad for business. And that's why you saw the Iraqi prime minister in the Oval Office yesterday, made his first trip abroad, not to Tehran, as has traditionally been the case. He came to Washington. Why? Because Iran is ruining Iraq's business because of what they're doing in the Gulf. And Iraq should be a going concern. They have, a great culture, the sort of culture of the cradle of civilizations, the Fertile Crescent. They have incredible oil reserves. This should be a successful country. And 25 years almost since we toppled Saddam Hussein, it's a basket case. Why? Because the Iranians are there, and they've been trying to feed off Iraq at least for the last decade, if not for longer. And so that is all changing now. And so as we go forward, I think we will see the mitigating oil prices in the United States continue, which is really the crux of any domestic political issue for the president. But then I also think we're just going to see the kind of slow motion train wreck in Iran that we saw in the Soviet Union, sort of 1986, 1987, 1989 timeframe as we moved up to the fall of the Berlin Wall. It didn't happen overnight. It happened because of economic strangulation. It happened because of military dysfunction and the strength of the United States. So I think that may be the phase we're going into.
So this is that it happens slowly, and then all at once it's over. They raise their hands and go, okay, we can't put this off anymore. We're done. That's kind of where you're thinking this is going. Okay. Yeah, it feels like that. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, Dr. Victoria Coates, with the rise of the Democrat socialists and the socialists who are the gateway drug to communism, are you surprised at the lack of attention that we're paying to China and the threat that China, because I see China as a threat, and so many people go, oh, you're crazy. They're just sending us cheap stuff so they can keep their power overseas. I think we're being foolish, not understanding the growing threat China is creating, not just to us, but to, I think, the global world order for reasonable governments around the globe.
Oh, you're 100% correct, Mike. And a lot of what you're hearing from folks is information they're being fed by China. And China has information campaigns going to the tens of millions, if not billions of dollars on various different topics here in the United States. They were behind a lot of the very extreme climate messaging that, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have children because the climate change is going to happen and they're going to die. They're now also behind all of this messaging that data centers are going to poison your neighborhood. They're going to steal your job and your house is going to be inhabitable because of the data centers. They're trying to get us to voluntarily reject our advancements in and superiority in AI and other high technology areas. So that is all coming to folks from TikTok. I know TikTok is charming. I know TikTok is fun, but there's a reason TikTok is banned in China because it is a pernicious messaging application that feeds us damaging narratives like this, like, oh, China's really your friend. It's a place you can get cheap sneakers. Maybe you can make cheap chairs there and you can sell them here, kind of a thing. No, they are our biggest single global threat. But one thought I'll leave you with, which is why I think we need to pay attention to the Indo-Pacific region in general, that's also our biggest economic opportunity these days. Europe has essentially committed suicide. I hope there are a lot of parts of Europe that are still strong. I hope they remain good partners. But overall, this kind of creeping socialism we're seeing here has taken over in Europe. And even the big economies, which are some of the biggest in the world, can't afford to invest in their defenses the way we need them to. And so in this case, we need to look to countries like Japan, South Korea, Australia to be our pure partners, and then developing countries. And I never thought, I'm old enough to remember the Vietnam War, at least vaguely, as a very, very small child. But we're now looking at Vietnam as a potential partner, and the Philippines and Indonesia and India and these countries. That's where our big opportunities come. So the Indo-Pacific, yes, is about combating China and recognizing that threat, but also maximizing the biggest single economic and technological opportunity for the American people.
Well, we see so many things, good things happening out of parts of that region, including the chip technology business that comes out of Taiwan, who I know China would love to grab. And my mind still goes back to when the late Senator John McCain returned to Vietnam, a place that tried to ruin him and destroy his life, only to talk about the growth and the friendship that was there waiting for us, and I do see that could be a reality going forward. One last question before you go, because I know you're on a crazy schedule. Tonight's speech by the president, anything that you and your friends at Heritage are looking forward to hearing? Can you give us any thoughts on that? What you think? I'm not asking you to bet on the Kalshi markets like the teleprompter guy. Just wondering what you think.
Which was enterprising, criminal, but enterprising. It's so I think, what this is mostly going to be about election integrity. I think we've all been deeply concerned about what happened in California in their primary and what we saw going on. Just a very clear indication of where the rot is. So I think that's really what the president wants to get after going into the midterms. But I do think he's going to share some more of next steps in Iran, what he sees the end state to be, where our successes are coming, where we can expect assistance from partners and allies. And I would really keep an eye then for Iran on that regional piece. I think you're going to see the president put increasing burdens on our regional partners who can start to handle a lot of this on their own.
Which is a great thing if that happens. That's good for us and our economy and our expenditures, all of that stuff. Dr. Victoria Coates, always a pleasure. Always learned something. Although we didn't ask you, just a quick sidebar. Have you ever had a snake? Have you ever had rattlesnake steak?
I have had bites of rattlesnake served like an hors d'oeuvre on toothpicks.
Okay, but it's not on your regular menu.
It is not something I would regularly eat. I'll try most things once, so I tried it, but I'm not saying I'm going back in on that one.
Okay, good. Always a pleasure. Thank you for making my return to the airwaves here just so much better because of your presence.
Well, welcome back, Mike, and we'll talk soon.
I hope so. Take care. And there she goes. And here I go. I got to take a break. It's 5:27. You want to join the conversation? We still have basically a half hour left. I have a couple of crazy stories we have to get to, including a woman who gave her child a name that people are freaking out about. She named her child. Well, I'm just going to have to make you wait to hear the name this woman gave to her new daughter. And people are freaking out about it. It's Mike Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210. Pardon me. It's the Canadian Ash, ASH. I have Canadian Ash in my throat. Sorry. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
Tasty cake and summer just go together. Whether you're packing for family vacations, getting ready for summer camp, heading to the pool, or simply stocking up for busy days at home, Tasty Cake has the treats everyone loves. The next time you're at the grocery store, be sure to grab the baked peach pie, packed with sweet summer flavor, and the lemon cupcakes, perfect for lunchboxes, camp snacks, road trips, and family get-togethers. Easy to grab, easy to share, and always a family favorite. Make Tasty Cake part of your summer. Tasty Cake. Accept no substitutes.
Make growing your savings part of your summer plans. Open a First Harvest Credit Union 15-month share or IRA certificate and earn 3.75% annual percentage yield. Or choose an 18-month option and earn 3.6% annual percentage yield. Explore all your options at firstharvestcu.com/certificates, including our growth savings and growth checking accounts. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The working families of La Una Labor District Council of Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are proud contributors to all aspects of growth in this great city. The Labor District Council provides safe, well-trained, productive workers who enable projects to be done on time and under budget. We appreciate our signatory contractors and their commitment to fairness and equality. Laborers, we're building a better future today.
Brought to you by the Laborers District Council Licit Fund.
My obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy kept me from baseball games with my boys. The stairs were too much. With Camzyos, my symptoms have improved and I can be more active again. Camzyos is a cardiac myosin inhibitor, the first in its class to treat adults with symptomatic OHCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active, and it reduced obstruction in the heart 4 times more.
In a 30-week study, Camzyos, mavacamten, reduced post-exercise obstruction on average 47 units of pressure versus 10 with placebo. Results may vary. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby.
Visit Camzyos.com or call 1-855-CAMZYOS. Actor Portrayal.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now back to the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Michael Opelka coming to you from the new broadcast facility in my basement. It's basically a free speech bunker where you're allowed to speak your mind, and I'm sitting in on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. I'll be back tomorrow, God willing, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So let's get some momentum with some of the topics. We will cover what the president says tonight, and I know a lot of people are going to be doing that immediately after, but we will have our take on it because we will also do a take on how the media reviews it, which is always a lot of fun for me. I like to watch and see. I wonder if anyone will bail out of it tonight. We learned earlier this week that Nicole Wallace of MS13 Now said that she hated taking the press conferences during the first Trump term because she was so hurt by it. She's such a journalist that she couldn't do that. But you're welcome to weigh in on what you think the president might say tonight. I think we all pretty much expect it's going to be about election integrity, and maybe some new evidence will come out. But 855-839-1210 is the number, 855-839-1210. Let's check in with Jim in Haddonfield. That's New Jersey, right, Jim? You're in New Jersey?
Yes, it is. It's right next to Cherry Hill, actually.
Oh, cool. So are you getting the benefit of any of the Canadian delivery of free fertilizer, all this ash that's showing up?
We did actually earlier. However, this afternoon it really did start to clear, and you can actually see sun again.
Oh, that's good. I think we're going to need a good rainstorm, which I haven't checked the weather widget lately, but maybe there is one coming up. So maybe it's happening. But just be smart, people, for yourselves. As my grandmother used to say, be smart for yourself. If you've got breathing problems, don't go outside. Stay inside. Just chill out, hang out with us on the radio. But, Jim, what do you think about tonight's speech? What are you looking for? What are your thoughts?
Michael, first of all, you're the perfect person to ask this because I am so fascinated tonight about what Fox News is going to do regarding the broadcast. Since Trump is going to talk about the 2020 election, and we know what happened with Fox and the $800 million they lost with the Dominion suit regarding the 2020 election machines, how do you think Fox management is going to direct the Fox anchors once Trump comes out with this new 2020 revelation or whatever he's going to say? Obviously, Fox doesn't want to get burned again.
No, they don't.
How do you think management? No. What do you think they're going to do or how they'll handle it?
That's a really interesting point, but it was $787 million, so you did a little government rounding up to $800 million. But it also cost a couple people their jobs, did it not? Didn't Dan Bongino kind of get slid off the network? And we believe Tucker Carlson may have gotten his walking papers tied to that. They seemed the people that brought the suit wanted a skin as well as some money. So this is a very interesting question. And I worked at Fox, at the network for years, not Fox News. I worked at Fox Network. But I can tell you, when there is a sensitive topic, the management does come down and they send in the BS&P guys. I don't know. Are you familiar with BS&P at networks?
I do not know what that is.
Okay. It's broadcast standards and practices. And these are the lawyers who come in and they say, well, you can't talk about this or you can't talk about that. Or if you're going to bring that up, you have to say that this is. It's kind of, they have the same thing on The View. Whenever the harpies on The View go too far and express an opinion and don't say allegedly, they have to come back on the next segment and say, well, they've been charged with a crime they haven't committed. I suspect you're going to see some tiptoeing around it because nobody wants to get sued, especially when you've already lost, as you brought up, several $100 million in the previous suit. But I also, Jim, don't expect what the president's going to say to border into, he may dance around the edges, but I don't think he's going to say anything about those machines. I think this is going to be about the validation of voters, about making sure that the right people, American citizens of the legal age, are voting. I think that's where this is going. I think this is more about the Save America Act than it is about voting machines. Just a thought. But are you thinking it's going to be something different? Because you're smart to look at it from that angle. I just don't think we're going to see anything crazy like that.
Well, I think my only fear is that from what we've been looking at so far today, he is going to talk about, again, it was Trump himself yesterday that said that we're going to be shocked by the evidence that he has received. And I just hope that Fox is smart enough, and not only Fox, by the way, all the networks are going to say, look, unless Trump really has, definite, the people that he's been going for this, whether it's John Solomon or Bill Pulte, that's fine. They can do what they want for him. But if he's not going to get fact checked, if he's not going to get other people who are kind of a little more middle of the road to coordinate this, I just don't know what advantage Trump has of going back to talk about the 2020 election.
Well, you're right. And I think a lot of people's eyes glaze over when you hear 2020 election, stolen election, because we don't have a time machine. We can't go back. But we can talk about the fact that we need to make certain that our elections are secure and we have integrity in the vote. So that if he focuses on that, I think he's got an opportunity to make a point. Plus, if there is any new evidence that's to be presented, that he do it through the FBI director and through the acting attorney general, who he would like to become the attorney general. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. And I wish I had like a quad box where I could put Fox, MS-13 Now, CNN, and maybe News Nation all up and see who bails out at any given time. And then we could track it and do it that way. I'm guaranteeing somebody's going to do that. So we will see it tonight. Interesting possibilities that could be happening. Thank God there's no World Cup game on tonight, Jim. I don't have to miss it. But thank you.
We're only going against the Phillies and the Mets, but I'm more interested in the speech.
Yeah, I hope the Mets don't give up another one of those inside the park home runs, although they're fun to watch. 5 errors or something on one play. It was great. Thank you, Jim. God bless. Take care. Let's go to Don in Franconia. Hey, Don. Welcome to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Thank you very much, Michael. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you, sir. It's my honor. I've missed you guys, and I'll be back as often as I can. And that's really the big news for me. And Greg Stock has been very gracious to invite me back.
Well, let's hope he still looks that way at your performance because it's excellent.
Thank you.
I want to talk about the Save America Act and the voting ID and how it may affect me, and I'm a little worried. I think it's pretty much the most important thing that can happen for this country is that people should show identification to vote. They have to show identification for pretty much everything else in this world, so why not that? And that's what's more important than voting. And
this is so true, and you're right. And I don't understand how anyone could make an argument against showing an ID to vote when you have to, if you go to most big cities now, you go into a pharmacy, you have to show an ID to buy Sudafed. And you have to show an ID to get on a plane. You have to show 2 forms of ID to get into the Obama Death Star in Chicago. So it doesn't make any damn sense to me that people could be against it. Although, and if she's listening, she should call in. Linda Kearns, our friend Linda Kearns. Linda was against the Save America Act as it was written. Not against voter ID, but there was something, I believe, in the Save America Act that had Linda Kearns. DeSantis, do you know what I'm talking about? Am I crazy on that?
I know what you're referencing. I don't remember the exact details as to why she opposed it, but I do remember that she had mentioned it.
Maybe we can reach out. Another on-air meeting, a production meeting. Maybe
we can get it tomorrow.
Maybe we can reach out and ask Linda to explain, because it's definitely going to come up today, the Save America Act. I just have no idea why anyone anywhere could be against securing your election, Don, because it's so simple. You haven't, and to say that women can't get an ID, to say that women are incapable of getting, to say that people of color can't get an ID, that's just insulting. And those people should be mad, because
no question.
You have to get through the airport. You have to have an ID. I'll see. Don, thank you for being there. Thank you for the kind words. Very, very appreciated on this end. I mentioned the story beforehand. DeSantis, you and I didn't talk about this again because why prepare for the show? We can't. You're busy trying to get guests in here, and et cetera. But there was a story that broke today that I saw this about a woman who had an unusual name for her daughter. And people are freaking out. There is a woman named Mackenzie Schreiner who wanted to give her daughter a meaningful name. So she named her daughter Love. Love. And people are upset about it. How could you be upset about someone calling their daughter? It was about 25, maybe 30 years ago. There was a couple in New Jersey that named their baby Adolf Hitler, and then with their last name. And I think they were denied naming that. But there are people that are actually trying to judge the kid online because the mom put a TikTok video out saying she named their kid Love. I think that's a great name. Who could be mad at a child named Love? Why would you ever be mad at that? Now I could see why you might be mad if you got a weird license plate sent to you by the state This is the story. I don't think Mary covered the story about the Florida woman and the license plate. Did she?
We have not. I've been dying to discuss this.
So you've got a clip, do you not,
We
of
do.
this crazy story?
This is a news report, cut 26.
Now, before you play it, I'm a vanity plate owner. About 12 or maybe 15 years ago, I decided to honor my late father by putting his life motto on my car with a vanity plate. My father taught all of his 9 children that after the First Amendment, everything else is secondary. My dad believed in the First Amendment, not just free speech, but freedom of the press, freedom to protest, all of that stuff. My dad said that if we don't protect freedom of the speech and freedom of protest and the right to address and redress your government, that we would lose this country. So he had a motto. He said, after one. If we lose that, everything else is secondary after one. So my license plate says after one. My brother in Florida says after one. Another one of my brothers is in Alabama. His license plate is after one. We honor my dad. So I have a vanity plate. But there's a woman in Florida who just, a 77-year-old woman who just got a vanity plate. And it's not a vanity plate. It's a random plate. But she's not happy about it. Go ahead.
And I didn't know I was getting a plate.
When Nancy Delastrita went to collect her mail, she got quite the surprise, a new license plate with her vehicle registration renewal.
And I looked at it and I said, I don't think so.
The plate reads SQZ-A55, but from a distance, those 55s can be read as S's. Well, you get the picture. Squeeze blank.
I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say.
The plates become the talk around her retirement community, especially the men. We were with her when she showed it to one of her 89-year-old neighbors.
And this is what I received from the DMV for my new license plate. That's good for 10 years. Good. Good?
Florida license plates have been made at a state prison in North Florida for almost a century. Then they're funneled through the county agencies. Nancy's plate was mailed from the Broward Property Tax Collector's office. We went there to try to help her get some answers. It's a question about a tag, if you want to replace a tag. And while no one wanted to talk on camera, we were told anyone unhappy with a plate can turn it in for another one for free.
I'm kind of resigning to it, and I figured maybe it was just destined to be on my car.
So for now, Nancy's keeping the tag, although she is planning to let the state know about it. She'll see the reaction when she goes public with her new plate.
I can handle it if I get a few honks here and there. Actually, being over 70, I might like a few honks.
So she's getting a few honks there, maybe driving through the village with a license plate that says squeeze ass. Now, Florida is the same state that also had another random plate that was A55GRY. Have you seen this one, DeSantis? A55GRY. Go ahead, write it down on your little sheet of paper there before you go to HR.
I did not hear of that one. I know
now,
there was. Oh, sorry.
Do you know why that's objectionable?
No, why?
Well, A55 is the one that looks like the word ass,
yeah,
right?
That one I got.
And the middle of the Florida plate, which separates the two group of 3 letters or numbers, is what? The orange. The state of Florida license plate has the orange right there, so it looks like an O. So this person got a random license plate that said A55GRY. Yeah, it looks like ass orgy.
Oh, man.
That's on this guy's plate, and he still got it, apparently. Well, but if you had filed for that plate, they would reject you.
I would think. I know there was a pretty famous story in 2022, or it was a couple of years ago, in North Carolina. The DMV initially approved a license plate that just flat out said fart. It was F-A-R-T. Then a few months...
Is that Chuck Schumer's plate out in California? Adam Schiff?
A few months later, someone complained to the DMV saying it was offensive, and they tried to revoke it. Now, the woman who had the license plate claimed it was an acronym. I think she said it stood for Friends of, I don't know, Asheville
Nice
Recreational
try.
Trails or something.
Nice try.
But I don't think it worked.
That's like saying I'm a member of the Film Actors Guild. That's never going to work.
No.
The people from Mad TV did a sketch on that, and you won't be able to find that particular episode on YouTube in their history. But I love the lady finally came around. She got more attention because of a screwy license plate than she probably ever has in her whole life. I got to take a break. I know we're up against the wall. The Zioli Show coming up just around the corner. And then Jimmy Fallon, although is Jimmy Fallon in, or is he on, I know he is somewhere overseas because he couldn't be on with Kale and Company this morning. His show's still on, right? 7 o'clock after Rich?
Yep.
Okay. I've been away, okay, people? I'm just back on the planet. Elon just rescued me from the International Space Station. It's Michael Opelka. It's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Here's something you don't hear every day. Employee pricing for everyone. For a limited time only this July, Closet Factory Philadelphia is opening its employee pricing event to everyone. That means incredible savings on custom closets, garages, pantries, home offices, and more. If you've been waiting to organize your home, now's the time. Employee pricing is available this July for a limited time only. Book your free design consultation today at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
Earn up to 3% cash back with your Cash Reward MasterCard from American Heritage Credit Union. You'll earn 3% cash back for essentials like gas and groceries, 2% for travel and dining, and 1% for everything else, like your morning coffee. Make sure you earn a little extra when celebrating our nation's 250th anniversary this summer. Apply today at AmericanHeritageCU.org/cashback. Insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender. Not a member? Join today.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Just sprinkle it on top of whatever you're already feeding them. It's packed with live probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals, all natural and made in the USA. Thousands of dog owners are watching their pets transform. More energy, shinier coat, better mobility, and your dog could be next. Take the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. Give us 90 days and we'll give you a healthier dog, guaranteed. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code USA. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code USA. Rough Greens. So good, your dog will ask for it by name.
From Chester Springs to Clementon, we know your favorite stations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. WPHT.
Nothing like a little James Marshall Hendricks to put a bow on the show. It's Mike Opelka wrapping up the first of a 5-day package here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow, and then I will be with you hopefully Monday through Wednesday of next week. So wake the kids and tell the neighbors we have to do this together. Before we get out of here, I got to mention Chuck Schumer. He made a lot of news yesterday for making a lot of noise on the Senate earlier.
Now on Iran and the NDAA. The American people need to know, of course, how and why this chaos is spreading through their streets, and we need a complete investigation that's independent. Now on Iran and the NDAA.
No, I want to talk about the gaseous issue Chuck Schumer apparently had. He joins the ranks of Eric Swalwell, the Shiftless One, and others with the windbreaking. And, of course, TMZ, which now has a group in D.C. You got to love the fact that TMZ is in D.C. and they're hounding the politicians. And they tried to track down Schumer and get him to answer as to whether or not, as the question in Spanish is, como Fatima.
Senator. Senator Jacob with TMZ, did you fart yesterday on the Senate floor?
And he gets into his SUV, and one of the security guards steps right in front of the camera. Senator, did you? Now, Schumer's a former Golden Globes champion when he was a kid, so I one of these days he's going to snap and turn around and throw a punch, which would be very funny to me. God bless TMZ. Just TMZ. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. We hope you push like hell. And tonight, we'll be watching the president's address and breaking it down tomorrow. I can't tell you how much fun I've had today. Don't forget, Zioli follows this show, our friend Rich Zioli. If you're not already subscribed to Rich's podcast, you should do that. It will make you a better human being. You'll probably do better on Jeopardy. Till next time, Mike Opelka saying thank you, Matt DeSantis. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for listening. Until next time, testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't.